Runaway robot. Welcome to DieFall, episode 31 now.
Holy shit.
I think. Is that right? That's ridiculous.
We're alive.
Hi, welcome. Sorry about that. We had a bunch of technical difficulties between Discord, cameras, trying to get something new to work today, which I'm going to go mess with this right now to make sure that it doesn't suck.
And I'm sick.
Rel's sick.
I also have a cold.
We're trying new things. Rel's, Jesus. We're going to do music in stream now, which is something that we haven't done yet. I finally set up an additional account so it actually works through Roll20, so even all the players can hear the music rather than having to listen to something doubled on the stream.
Everyone except
so we're gonna
me.
try to make this work, and we'll see how it goes. Also, we got transcoding, so change all of the quality options to your heart's content. Sorry, we had to restart like 3 times to get it. Yay being an affiliate. So that's pretty much what that comes down to.
Get him to partner, guys. Just do it. Just get him to partner.
Yeah, just get partner. LOL forehead.
No, get him to partner. Like tell
get me to partner.
Yeah, tell everyone you know right now. Get him there. Get him there right now.
Tell your
viewers.
friends about me.
200 viewers. It's easy.
Cool. So welcome everyone. I think the biggest news, and we were kind of discussing this a little bit prior to starting the stream. Biggest news that we have this week is Telltale Games is shutting down. I know everyone in this chat right now, this channel has played at least one Telltale game at some point in time in their life.
I've at least watched.
and so yeah, or at least watched some stream of some kind that's Telltale oriented. I just want general thoughts and feelings on that. And we'll start for me on my screen. Top left is Rob right now. We'll start with Rob. What do you think, bud? I know you've played quite a few Telltale games. What's going on, man? What do you think?
As a streamer, that might be the last Walking Dead stream ever, which is weird. As a fan of it, it's really upsetting. But not entirely surprised. Well, that's not true. I don't know. Apparently it's been poorly managed. The CEO was ousted or left or something and was like suing the company or something. If I'm remembering correctly, that happened in November. I remember they had a major layoff thing in November, where they laid off either 25 or 75% of their staff and were left with the remainder.
Whoa.
And now it was like it went from like 400 people to like 250 people or something. Like it was like because they were producing so much shit.
Yeah, I think they oversaturated their own market.
They did.
Really
they absolutely
weird.
did. And like not everybody, like The Walking Dead is not a universally enjoyed IP. Minecraft is probably the closest thing to a universally enjoyed IP, but it's like you have Batman, you have Back to the Future, you have Game of Thrones, you have all these different things that they Guardians of the Galaxy, like ideas that they think on paper may have been good, but it's like you're kind of separating your audience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'll play
sure.
about anything that they give me. I'll try anything once. Hell, I'll try it twice because I'm not no bitch. But like it's I don't know, man. Like I really want this 15. Duzen and I were talking about it earlier in my Discord. I want this 15 people supposedly still on staff to be a skeleton crew working on the last 3 episodes of The Walking Dead, but in reality, it's probably the higher ups settling paperwork and either restructuring or permanently closing their doors. Because nowhere has confirmed, to my knowledge, that they're closing their doors.
That's true.
But they've canceled all of their future projects.
They've canceled all the games. Yeah, all the future IPs are all dead.
It's either a major restructure and they needed to build from the ground up, or they're liquidating.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
I heard a rumor that the quote-unquote skeleton crew that they are keeping is working on something. I don't remember what I read, which game it was, or was it like the Netflix adaptation of something, or I'm not sure. There was a rumor floating, but I'm not exactly entirely
I know
sure.
What they've said is they're working on the release of Walking Dead episode 2. for Saturday, and the way they worded it was something along the lines of like fulfilling their obligation to the board of whatever, like their board of trustees. And I don't know if that means they're like contractually obligated. Yeah, I don't know if that means they're contractually obligated to finish this season, like a full season was ordered.
Yeah.
Or I don't know. I don't know, but just the idea that like final season, we're left without the last 3 episodes.
It feels
that
bad.
Like breaks my heart as a fan.
Yeah, it feels really bad.
That really kills me.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Tom, have you played any of the Telltale games?
So technically, yes. I played like about 15 minutes of one of the Batman ones.
Yeah. Okay.
But the thing is, it's not a style of game that really screams out to me.
Sure.
I tried it and was like, I want the ability to make more choices than they're giving me. You know,
yeah.
I felt too shoehorned into a story. Like I'd rather read a book in that case. But I loved like the artwork, and I so many people just loved the narrative style of it. I just think it's a shame to see like talented people lose their job in a company that they clearly loved working for because of some jerkweed at the top mismanaging something or other. You know?
Yeah.
I also think it's a shame that there are certain sort of franchises that they're not going to finish, certain IPs that they're just dropping, and fans are going to be left like with nothing.
Just one, like there's nothing. Yeah, there's no closure to any of that. And
I heard the same thing as you, Joel, that I believe what they're finishing up with their Skeleton Crew is some Minecraft thing for Netflix.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah, but
I was like,
I mean, that like Rob said, there's been very little official come out of this. There's news all over the net, but you have to try and piece together a story from the most reliable sources.
But I mean, there are a lot of like devs on Twitter too that are like, you know, I was reading something this morning and it was like, it was so touch and go for the last few months. Like we were already living paycheck to paycheck because it was just like, they couldn't afford to pay people. Like as much as they were or something like that. And it was just crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, plus the housing market in California is pretty crappy right now.
Yeah, they're all in the Bay Area. Like they're fucked.
There's nothing.
It's insane.
Jeez.
The Twitter community has been really cool though, trying to get like, there have been trending hashtags for like hiring these devs and
I think we might see something amazing come out of it.
Like, hope so.
Yeah, but it's not going to be Telltale. That's the thing, right? No. Like, that's definitely not coming out the other side.
They won't be telling any more tales, am I right, guys?
See, the way that this is happening kind of reminds me how almost like Rareware was going. Like, Rareware was purchased by Microsoft back forever ago, but then like a few people branched off and then made their own group to kind of make the games that they wanted to make, which were essentially reimaginings of games that were made 20 years ago, like Banjo-Kazooie. So they had Yooka-Laylee come out. It's not a great example, but it's like I feel like there are going to be the devs that had to leave Telltale. They'll branch off, make their own sort of company, and sort of make a Telltale 2.0, and that sort of
successor,
like a spiritual successor. We'll see a Kickstarter within the year, like possibly,
maybe.
Yeah, the Kickstarter to end to somehow end Walking Dead. Just like it's been such a long running series, and now it's just like
it's gonna kill me.
There's just nothing. Yeah. So no, you'll get some like really weird fan made something or another.
All over again.
You'll get a visual novel.
We'll
just
get,
anime
like,
characters.
Walking Dead Serenity in like a year, and it's not gonna be that good.
Yeah,
and it's gonna kill half the characters.
And the only thing that you like about it is the fact that you get to see the characters again.
Yeah.
Finally, after all this time. Yeah. Oh God.
I don't know. Well, who knows? We might see something like that. Like that's what it feels like, and especially like being in a company that went something like that. Like the place that I'm unemployed from now, like basically was like we couldn't like afford to keep everybody there. It happens to these kind of companies all the time. So everybody was let go. If Telltale does like strap itself down and actually get itself going, then everybody will come back and everything will come back full force. But only time will tell. Like it's really hard to call something like this.
Yeah, I feel like they need a rather large infusion of just money, right, to like bring it back. But like I don't know, man.
The way they set up their market, though,
the problem is clearly that they're not generating that money, so no one's going to give it to them if they can't generate it.
It was too many. Well, that's why they had so much staff. They were putting out like I don't know, like
so
4
many
projects
IPs,
a year or something, and it's like
ridiculous amounts.
They were getting more and more diverse. It was stupid.
Yeah, you guys hit it on the head though. They oversaturated their own market, I think.
Yeah.
I think you're right.
I mean, no one else made Telltale games, obviously.
No, the closest thing you had was like Life is Strange.
People that made King's Quest.
Yes.
The remake
Sierra Games.
Like Good Gentleman, I think, is like the development team that they called themselves at that, because Megalithic Heart was
the King's Quest remake
but I saw that
they did.
Years ago.
Yeah, but it's still like I don't know it. I think they may have oversaturated their own market, which sucks. But...
Also, how is their marketing? Because I don't ever remember seeing like
too many things.
Exactly. They never promoted anything.
IPs.
I don't think they needed to promote though. Weirdest thing was like a big name franchise.
Yeah, weirdest thing was I was playing season 3 of The Walking Dead: New Frontier, and there were ads for season 1 and 2 in the New Frontier, and I was like, I'm like, do you guys not have an advertising budget outside of your own games? Like, I don't think so.
That's the thing, is like, I don't think they know how to market their games either.
Well, no. But also, I only ever saw commercials for Minecraft Story Mode. I remember seeing commercials for that.
Yes.
Think about how much they must have spent on licensing alone.
And there it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
Yep. Just
getting
the
one of the projects they had coming out that they canceled was Stranger Things.
Seriously, like, how much do you think a license to make a game on Guardians of the Galaxy is going to cost you?
Right? Exactly.
Oh, and I think that did any of you guys ever play that?
Actually, Stranger Things is probably the cheapest one so far.
Yeah, probably.
Did anyone ever play the Guardians of the Galaxy one?
Nope.
Okay, so here's the deal too. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was honestly just not
nothing about it.
Fun. And I was like, because I played through the first episode and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna come back to this.
Yeah.
It
here's
was
the thing.
not
like this kind of narrative storytelling type of game works with deep emotional stories with characters that you can relate to and feel for. Like Guardians of the Galaxy is like big explosions and cool spaceships, and you know what I mean?
It's like an action game, not a story.
Yeah, it's not a story.
Guardians got super popular. Nobody expected it to get super popular, and everybody jumped on it.
It's true.
And failed.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like even like when I heard that they did the Back to the Future one, like I was like kind of hit or miss on that, because it's not the most.
Yeah, it was like, that's a cute idea, and it's a franchise that doesn't necessarily get anything.
But I don't feel like that's the right
nobody
avenue
asked for
it
either.
either.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not the right avenue.
Like there was no demand for it.
Yeah.
I heard about it and I was like, oh, that's cute. Like I would play that.
And I love Back to the Future.
Yeah.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
One of my favorite franchises. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
I know, like, my long-term plan in terms of Let's Plays was to go through basically most of Telltale's catalog, especially The Walking Dead, especially the Batman games. But now I'm kind of like, is it really worth it? Because there's not going to be any more content.
Well, I mean, if it's a finished franchance, right, or like a finished one.
Yeah.
Like I think Batman was finished.
Maybe I go off.
I know they had 2 seasons of Batman, I think. Because I think that's.
And I mean, you could still play Wolf Among Us 1, right? Like that's still like a completed game. Yeah. I haven't played it yet, but I've heard very good things about it.
I had one particular episode of the game where I started it up, and there was just severe graphical glitches. The main character, Bigby, had no textures whatsoever except for his eyes and his cigarette.
Ew.
So it looked like this big walking shadow, and I made it work. I didn't even stop. I just kept going for the entire 15-16 minutes of the episode, stopped, fixed the game, and then came back to it. It was fun.
That's like if you ever play Fable on Xbox on an Xbox 360. The rendering issues are phenomenal. I had stained glass texture on my face one time. It was super cool.
Good. Wow,
Yeah.
that's nice.
Totally rad tattoo and no ramifications. Yeah.
All right, guys.
All right.
I think we might have talked this one a little bit to death, but it was good to at least, you know, get out of the way, bring it to light, do all the things. Things that we needed to discuss for today's game and where we ended last week is goals. We got to discuss some goals here. Group goals will probably, depending on how Tom's character Hathol fits into the group here, those might possibly change, but he might have some aligning things as well. Tom, so the way that goals work in this game is that this is the way that you gain experience as a character. You set yourself 3 personal goals that you'd like to do, something that we can attach like a number to, or something that's like an objective that you can achieve at some point in time, depending on the difficulty of that objective or that goal. Nets you an amount of experience that I decide upon based on it's like easy, medium, hard, or like a deadly goal that you try to do. Also, the length of time that you pursue said thing is factored in as well.
Okay.
So things to think about for that. So we'll go through the other guys' goals, so you get like a feeling for what that is. But this is how you earn experience in the game right now. Okay. So the group goals currently are find and rescue the Lady Tasir. Basically, your rescue plan was into immediate custody. You don't want to go outside of that, so that's kind of the bubble that we're keeping that in. Foster a lasting truce with the Orc Kingdom now, I suppose. Cure Ignis of the effects of Kars's curse. All of these things are generally like you're in the process of doing. So you made some headway on fostering that truce, but it was never actually complete, right? There was nothing signed on a dotted line somewhere that said, yeah, this is a thing, right? So are you guys okay with those current group goals? Tom, your character is probably going to come factor into this probably at the end of this episode, more than likely, if anything changes or if like you guys, you know, start talking to each other. Group goals are again, they're things that will be awarded experience to the whole group if they like have aligning goals. Okay. So is that okay with the 3?
Yeah, I think so.
Still good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, individual goals. Ignis, you still have find your father here.
Yep.
Return to Earl Reef's war camp with Tasir alive.
Right.
So this is under the assumption that you actually get her and she's alive, right?
Oh.
And then leave the orc camp alive with the party. You did do that. Technically, you left the camp. Leaving the camp wasn't a very difficult thing. But you did leave it alive with the party. Due to the ambush that night, I think you're awarded 200 experience for that. That's what I have marked down here.
Okay.
So you did assist the party in doing that, and you know, getting Zog's getting Zog to take care of the business for you, I think, is part of that. So are you good with that? So that technically removes that third one. So I need a third goal from you.
That was my second in the list, but okay. Come back to me. Let me think about it. And cough a lot.
Yeah. If you need to go push to talk or anything like that, go ahead and, you know, figure that out. Miara.
That's me.
Convince the orc tribes that the death of the orc is self-defense.
You
didn't have to do that.
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't have to do that. So
I don't think
I don't think there's like a necessarily.
I love how little they gave a shit.
They literally did. I thought it was going to be a much bigger deal considering we were on the fence with them already. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So I honestly, personally, I wouldn't allot experience to it because I didn't have to do anything.
Okay. And I'm okay with that. So we're just gonna, that's one that's gone.
Yeah.
The 2 that you have currently after this are make it to Sparrow's Crossing to learn what happened to Melrius. You guys are heading out into the desert. I don't know if you want to keep this one or if you want to try and change it, or what you want to do with that. The third one you have is train Balmier to get better with the armor. We have a 3-week timeline on that. You have not physically attempted to make him better with it.
No, we haven't had much time to like physically just kind of work towards that either.
Yep.
You should do that every time he asks if we want to do anything before bed.
Yeah.
Oh, because it's like we have that. Well, yeah, I should do it next time. Yeah. That's what I think I might start doing. Because I try to do it like after my watch for the rest, but then Balmiar doesn't get his full rest if that's the case. So
well, when you asked for that was like after the fight, and like you guys had already had your arrest interrupted.
Yep.
And the thing is, like, if you had done more than that, he'd have to restart that rest. Like, it doesn't function like that. But with an 8-hour rest, technically you have like an hour to 2 hours of like free downtime.
Yeah.
That doesn't affect you, and that's like when your watch happens or whatever. I mean, you could technically take part of that time to wake Balmiar up and do that kind of thing. Because it was one of those that like 4 hours long, interrupted already. It wouldn't have worked. You know what I mean?
I'm curious though, if because we're on like the cart like this right now, and
sure,
he's not doing anything on the cart. Would he be able to take a rest on like the cart ride if we're not interrupted?
So your horses are dead.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you're pulling the cart.
That's
But
that was sad.
in that case,
and like that sort of scenario,
you can only take one long rest per 24 hours.
Right.
So he would not be able to rest at night.
Yeah.
He would have to rest during the thing. You would basically flip him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So up to you. But as of right now, you don't have any horses for that cart.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm not sure.
That question is like, no. Okay.
Yeah. So what are you thinking for goals?
All right. So goals, I think I want to keep definitely train with Balmiar because I'm going to do that before we go to bed.
Okay.
I think from now on, so that way he can get used to it.
Excuse me.
The goal to replace the convince the orcs, I think I want to learn more about Hathol. Like figure out more about
Okay.
Hathol.
Yeah. Okay, so you want to learn more about him.
Cuz I'm like suspicious of him still. Like about him like, coming out of nowhere and then blasting these orcs to oblivion.
So depending on like what you do learn and what you get out of him, that's going to dictate if there's what level of experience that's going to end up being. And technically, this is one of those things that, like, Tom, because this is your character and it is an interaction that Miara is going to have to make with Hathol to figure out stuff, technically you set the difficulty class for this, all right? So, like, that's going to be on you, how forthcoming you are or whatever. That's up to you, and we'll see, and we'll decide all of that, and we'll talk about how that works at the end of today's episode and stuff. Do you want to keep the Sparrow's Crossing goal?
I think I'm going to hold on to that for now because I haven't figured out what to replace it with, if anything, yet. So I'm going to hold on to it.
Yeah, go ahead. Darien. So you have helped Miara find out what happened to her brother Zaor. Again, this is very similar to the Sparrow's Crossing thing in that you guys are heading out into the desert. And you three have no idea how long this is possibly going to take. Ignas has assured you that it's not going to take very much time. But now you have someone that may be able to guide you and that could help, but you also don't know.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know if you want to hold on to that or you want to back burner it for a while.
Can you remind me what my other two are currently?
Yeah. You want to commune with Alis.
Yeah.
You've been unable to do so.
Yeah.
For a couple days now. So that's something that was on your list. And you wanted to make a good impression on Zog. So we never saw a result of this, right? So it kind of gets a little metagamey if I say, yep, you made a good impression on Zog, right? But
yeah,
I think that's okay because your character doesn't know, but he's still, because he did put the effort towards it. I did a little bit of thinking about how we were going to do this one earlier today. That you would receive experience for it because you do accomplish a goal based on what the result of this is, right? And so yours was very specific about you want to make a good impression on Zog as personally as Darien, right? Rather than like showing that like Erdrick was going to be a good investment. It was going to be that Darien was a good makes a good impression. I think during your talks with him, you did do so. And I don't think it was necessarily, I found it to be like between an easy and a medium encounter. If I could get like a medium or something like that kind of a difficulty. So what I have written down here is that you earned 350 experience for your talks, your treaty talks, essentially.
Height.
Yeah. So you have a blank slot there as well.
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
So you've got that third slot is blank. And then if you want to switch out the first one, you're more than welcome to.
Currently, the only thing I have is Communal A-list. Okay. I think I'm gonna trying to think how to word this. I don't know what Hathol's deal is yet. I've seen this boy talk to a book. I've seen this guy lose his shit.
Yep.
I want to get a read on this boy. I want to learn more about him.
So like similar to like figure out what he's all about. Yeah.
Miera wants to do the same thing, and that's fine. Yeah, that's two separate things. Cool. Yeah. And you could learn different things, right? Like two separate conversations end up you guys learn two different things about them.
Sure.
Cool. I like that.
Commune together to figure out a whole puzzle.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep the Miera and Zayor one active currently?
I think for now, just because I forgot that I would have two, or I would have an empty slot to work.
You're more than welcome to keep it.
For now, I'm gonna.
So it's also probably pretty smart to do that. You don't know what's there for you in the desert, right?
Sure.
You don't know. All you know is that like it's called the Waste. That's not positive. And now you've met a crazy dude. Probably not positive either, but you got to find out, right? Like that's so maybe sitting on that's not such a terrible idea.
Okay.
So we'll swing around back to Ignas. Ignas, if you wanted to change any of your things, and then we'll come down to Hathol for his.
So I couldn't think of anything really juicy, and that is maybe because I'm still sick. But I think I just wanted my third goal to be reach Adis with the party alive.
Okay. Yeah.
Make it a nice simple one, because hey, it's the Wastes.
Yeah,
it's not
exactly.
A nice place.
And it could get worse. You know what I mean? Like you don't know.
We've
so
already
that's
been
a
ambushed.
pretty good thing to have. Yeah, exactly. You've already been
still have an orc alive. Come to think of it,
you do. You actually say you didn't kill all of them, which was interesting. One of them got vaporized by our next person here, Hathol. Hathol, let's talk about some personal goals for you, bud.
Let's do it.
So what do you think Hathol wants to accomplish? You essentially just assisted this party against some orcs in surviving. Mm-hmm. They have asked you, and you've talked to them a little bit about going, that you know where Adis is, and you might be willing to help lead them out into the Waste to find this city. Okay, what does Hathol want out of this? What's his goals here? What's his goals in the party? What is his, I know we talked about some of the stuff in character creation, but if you want to like put a physical like thing down here and be like, I want to do this, or like, I want to try to do this. This is my goal as Hathol. Then now's the time to do that.
Yeah, sure. So like the first goal is like the obvious one really, which is to safely escort this party that he's just met to Adis. That's the immediate goal right now.
Perfect. Yep. And it makes total sense.
It makes sense, and it's a simple one.
Yep.
Sort of a longer term quest goal for down the line, and I don't think any of the other three players were in the character creation stream, so I'm gonna be vague.
It's all surprises.
I'm gonna be vague with this, but it's to find a lead within my personal quest.
Yes. All right. So yeah.
This is the first time I'll be going to Adis with other people, and I want to use that I want to take advantage of that group there to actually find a lead that I've been searching for a long time.
A little extra manpower always goes a long way. Yeah.
And just for the sake of the other players, this personal quest is not a huge mystery. I'm just going to let it come out naturally in conversation rather than just tell you now. But it's not something that I'm keeping hugely secret. Yes.
Okay, cool. And then you have a third one.
Yeah, so that was it. The first two came easily to me, and then the third one was like,
It's always tough trying to round it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think to keep maybe having two simple goals and then one longer term, a goal for now should be simply to ingratiate myself with this group. you know, because yeah, I get the sense that
I love these.
I get the sense that
These are
they
my
are
favorite goals.
unsure. You know, I can sense the trepidation.
I mean, Hathol's a crazy dude, right?
Yeah,
like,
the thing is,
he's
a
not
crazy
entirely
dude,
stable.
and I know it.
Look,
It's like,
if you remember, Miera casted Hunter's Mark, or transferred her Hunter Mark to Hathol right after we started talking to him. And as far as I know, that's still active.
It is. It's active for up to an hour. Yeah, so that's where we're going to start most of our stuff today is based on that. So yeah, ingratiate yourself with the group. The interesting part about these and like getting to know group members and things like that, the difficulty class for these is always up to the group, right? And the fact that you said the full group, that means that everyone in the group has to end up liking you in some way, shape, or form, or trusting you in some way, shape, or form.
which is going to be a challenge because I haven't been around people much.
Yeah, I like this. This is going to be good.
A good role-playing sesh.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. So cool. So that kind of rounds out our goals for today. I like it a lot. This is going to be a lot of fun. So this is where we come back down into DieFall, the aspects proper, right? We get the last time on DieFall, and you get your. Basically, you get like the high points of like leaving the Orc city, being escorted out, exiting through the northern gates of the new Orc kingdom, and essentially traveling for a while through the beautiful mountainscape that is like the northern spine, where it's colder and the snows are coming down, and then being ambushed, right? The crashing of the rocks that the Orcs pulled down, and the two I guess twin Orcs out in front, the one barbarian, the other heavily armored fighter Orc. And then the battle that takes place there afterwards. Like, so we watch, the Hunter's Mark get placed. We watch acid being thrown. We watch Darien's hammer smash through multiple Orcs on various turns, right? The lightning javelin. And of course we see Hathol make his appearance from the northern side, moving southward and just tossing eldritch blasts and lightning energy everywhere of various different colors, torching the large barbarian Orc in one turn, just absolutely incinerating him with way too much damage. And kind of we come down to after who knocked out Darien, you knocked out the heavily armored Orc, right? His name was he Scott?
It ended up being a gimme because we had him surrounded.
And we couldn't hit him. We were trying to hit him.
Because he's going to take forever, but like eventually there's 4 of you. He's going to get worn out prior to when you guys are. So yeah, he's definitely down. I'm trying to remember if he was Cord or Scut here. Yeah, he's Scut. Cord was the one that was incinerated, his brother. So yeah, we kind of come in on that. Like we see Darien land that knockout blow, right? And we see like Miera turn and mark Hathol, right? And like, so you guys have like turned, you've approached Hathol, and you started speaking about the desert and things like that. And Hathol has been speaking to the interesting dark book at his side. Yeah, so that's where we begin. What would you guys like to do?
So I'd like to start by asking Hathol. I forget. Did we end up introducing ourselves at the end?
That's what I was about to ask
Yeah,
too.
we did.
Okay,
I remember.
we did. I turn around and look at the rocks that the Orc pushed down, and just turn back to Hathol and be like, "Well, you're familiar with this area. Is there an alternative route back? Because I don't think any amount of magic is going to move those rocks."
I do have dynamite.
Back? You why would you go back?
Well, once we're done in the wastes, we need to return to where we came from.
But the wastes become home.
We
already have a
things
home.
to do more south.
I like my home. I'd like it back, actually.
Yes, I as well.
If you insist, alternative routes can be found.
Okay.
All right.
Well, I can already tell you're going to be a valuable ally, so thank you.
All right.
But then
in
I'll
that
turn
case,
to Ignis and be like, "This guy is nuts."
Mhm.
And then just Ignis just goes, yeah. Half-hearted shrug, like, all right. But yeah, Darien, can you tie up the poor devil that we knocked out before? And Miara, perhaps you could assist me in searching these poor devils.
Will do.
Certainly.
Slash great bastards.
Yeah. Okay.
I just
so
want
Darien, you want to go time? Yeah. What's up?
I just want to communicate with Miara, but using message. So just between
Yeah. So
me
you
and
like
him.
You like subtly point over to Miara,
Yeah.
right, to indicate that because that's how the message spell goes.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Sure.
Sneaky boy.
You need not fear me. There's no need to mark me for death.
I'll like turn to Ignis and ask if he heard that. So, did you hear that?
No,
No,
are the
he did
gods
not.
talking to you too?
And I'll immediately turn back right up to Hathol, blade up to him.
okay.
Stay out of my head. All right. If you really mean no threat, you'll do just that. And I'll put my sword back.
Apologies. I merely
Yeah.
communicated. I do not pry.
Yeah,
Your thoughts
she's
are
a
your
little touchy.
thoughts.
She's an elf. She's a
Tread
little
lightly.
touchy. Yeah.
Hathol is also an elf,
I'm also
by the
an
way.
elf.
Oh well, all right, fine.
Is there no trust between brother and sister?
I only trust my own kin and the comrades I travel with. You have to earn that still.
Understood.
You two can fight and have this spat if you like, but Darien, I think we need to get that guy tied up before he wakes up. Hathol, maybe you could just stand over him if the orc wakes up, knock him out again.
Already tied.
Already tied.
did
Yeah.
it.
So I just want to give it like let's say when he wakes up, I want to give it a difficulty class, right? So let's see how good you are at tying a rope in this case, right?
Oh boy.
So give me let me see here, because give me like just a dex check. Let's see how dexterously you tied some knots. 20. Yeah. So he's gonna have to somehow break that nice 20 there if he ever wants to get out of those, and he's gonna be at
Get the
disadvantage
21.
forever. Well, he would be at disadvantage for this, so that's something later for him, right? So yeah, he is successfully tied up and still laying on the ground over there.
Okay.
He still has all of his armor and things on,
Oh,
right? Like his
Damn
shield
it, I forgot
lies
to
to the
say,
side.
We need to strip him before
and-
we tie him up. Damn it.
So that you can do that if you'd like to. He will have opportunities to likely wake up during that time, since you're going to be moving him a whole lot to make that happen. But you're more than welcome to do that.
Nah,
make him pull the
I didn't say it. I'll take the L on that one. But at the same time, I wanted to be searching the bodies, hopefully with Miara.
Yep.
Yeah, of course. So just so you know, because I know you're gonna take the two things that are still laying on the ground from him.
Yeah.
So he has a large black iron shield,
Okay.
like a large black iron tower shield,
Didn't I already take his
and-
battle axe?
and a battle axe. And I think you did take the battle axe
I
already.
did. It's on my list.
Yeah. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 standard orcs here. So these are all CR 1/2. So you'll pick up. Are you ready for a list here?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, you're gonna pick up 17 silver, 11 gold,
Uh-huh.
12 silver, 12 gold,
Okay.
10 gold, 17 silver, and 16 copper. Those are actually really good rolls considering.
Hey,
Okay.
I'll just math it later.
Yep.
Oh,
And then
excuse
this
me.
guy. And then do you likely want to loot both of the other guys here, right?
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, so big iron boy Scut, he has 12 gold pieces on him. Just in a pouch. The other one, Cord, the barbarian, in his ashes, you find a lump of melted together coinage. It
boy.
looks like it was various pieces of copper, silver, and gold, and now it is one lump. You don't know necessarily the amount that it is.
Combined value.
Yeah, you don't necessarily know the combined value because it is not necessarily coins anymore or pieces of physical gold or silver or whatever.
Nice job, Hathol.
Yeah, and then his great sword like kind of lies off to the side.
Anything in particular about it, or is it just a great sword?
You can investigate it if you'd like.
Yeah, I figured I would.
Sure. Do you want to do like identify on it, or do you want to just investigate?
I will save that for later. Actually, I'm gonna do the identify thing after we have an opportunity to stop for the night.
Sure. Okay, so go ahead and just make an investigation check real quick. You're gonna look it over.
Okay. Investigation.
10. Yeah. So go ahead and at the bottom on your thing, go ahead and change yourself back to Ignis.
I did that. Yes, I noticed.
Okay. So a 10. I mean, it looks like a great sword.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But
can't necessarily tell too much about it right now.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna investigate, or I'm gonna identify it later.
Sure.
24, 35. Okay. All right. So with
so
all
that's
of
your
that
basic
done,
looting done.
with all of that done, let's see. Do I have any writing implements?
On you?
Yeah.
I mean, you've written a letter before, so yes, I would say you at
Okay.
least probably have some parchment and like a pen or something like that.
Okay. So there's two things I want to do. The first thing is I want to take the horses' heads and I want to place them in front of what was the unconscious orc. I can't remember his name. Such that he sees them when he wakes up. So he
The
can
heads are still
see-
attached to the horses' bodies.
Oh, they are? Damn.
Yeah, basically he got
How did he
like
cut
he
off the
cut
horse
through
throat?
the legs of them. Like one of them's like they're still attached, but like it is one of them severely sliced through. The other one seems to have been cut basically through the chest and like down through its forward haunches.
Poor Steven.
We could always make him our horse.
We could.
I
Nah,
don't
nah.
suggest it, but or recommend it. But hey, it's an option.
There is no way. No. Well, in that case, I'm gonna go with option B. I'm gonna take my writing quill and I'm gonna draw a penis on his face.
Okay, sure.
He's
do
gonna
so.
wake up. He's gonna eventually break out. He's gonna eventually go back to his companions, and with no mirrors on hand, they'll see him with a dick on his face.
So Hathol, you watch as this gnome loots all of the orcish bodies, and then takes out a feather quill, some ink, and draws a dick on the unconscious orc's forehead.
You will not need that much coin in the desert. Trust me.
No, but we might need it once we come back. Also, I'm gonna just doodle another one. I'm gonna doodle a nice scrotum on his cheek.
Can I ask you, what is this?
Yes.
What is this symbol you draw? Is it a rune? It is something magical.
It's a rune of embarrassment and
A
humiliation.
rune? Oh, I must make note of this in my scholarly writings.
Yes, you should. You should combine the one on his forehead with the one on his cheek. Make sure that they line up.
I feel this will empower my vicious mockery even further.
We're gonna get along nicely.
I'm disappointed in all of you.
You
I'm
two
not even
boys
mad.
have
I'm just
done
disappointed.
drawing fallacies across these orcs' faces. Shall we proceed onward, or are we just going to stay here all day?
Methinks
I guess.
Sister Elf needs to lighten up.
I guess. All right. Hathol, lead the way. I assume you know where how to get to Adis from here.
Indeed, I do. Follow me.
Sure. So you guys just kind of leave the cart where it is, all of the bodies and whatever, and after drawing some penises on faces, you decide to start walking.
Steel yourselves. This will be quite a trek.
Things to remember here. Some of you are well, Hathol is hurt pretty severely. Hathol, you've also spent all of your spell slots.
I have.
You're going to have to take at least a short rest to
badly need a
regain
rest,
those.
people.
Yeah.
So do you want to continue walking? Do you want to walk for a while, or do you want to try to make that clear now? It's up to you how you want to, if you want to tell the party that. But I'm just reminding you of the condition that you're currently in.
I would appreciate a rest soon, although I'd rather not make camp anywhere near the corpses of these horses.
All right. We can walk for an hour and then find a nice spot to set down.
There are many nice spots. I'll show you my favorites.
Sure. Yeah, so you guys, you get your packs, you pack it up, and you start heading northwards through the mountainscape again. This time walking. Just for general point of note, just a marching order, please. So I'm assuming Hathol is leading.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys walking single file? Is someone walking next to Hathol?
I would like to walk next to Hathol.
Sure, yeah. So you have Darien and Hathol up at the front here.
I'll be behind them.
And then Ignas there. Do you walk next to Ignas, Miara, or do you follow up on
I'm walking right
on the
behind Hathol. Not gonna keep my eyes off of him.
Okay, so Ignas, you're like walking behind them, maybe trying to like get a little triangle in there, maybe so you can poke your head in and talk, and then Miara like pushes you off to the side and is right behind Hathol.
Like, she's
enough far away that she can do something that if need be, but because she wants to make sure that he stays in line.
And then I'm just gonna say Balmiar is in the back here.
Yeah, he's
I think that
I'm
works.
just gonna glance at Darien and just say, if you come any closer, we'll have to start holding hands.
You have an interesting sense of humor, my friend.
From a lifetime spent amongst the hobgoblins.
So you grew up in the wastes?
No.
How long have you been in the wastes for?
Oh, many years.
Just long enough.
Some would say too long. I would say just enough.
And
sorry,
I've forgotten that information long ago. The passing of time has become insignificant to me.
And if I may, I noticed the book at your belt. Is there something inside it that you commune with? Is it a spell focus?
Do not discuss the book.
Oh, okay. I mean no offense. I just mean my Warhammer talks to me sometimes, so I'm no stranger to voices in my head.
And then I'll just stroke
That
the
should
book
be a
gently.
cause for concern among us, I feel like. But let's keep going. And also, I'd like to... Can I make some kind of check? Like, what sort of major world event might have happened in the last 5, 10, 15 years that could be used as a reference point? Because Hathol says he doesn't remember how long he's been there. I want to see if I can figure out... If I can, like, reference something that he might know of.
A world event?
Yeah.
The
like
Great
Mystery Chest,
Underpants War of 82.
A large world event that might have happened
Pants on
in the
head
last
war?
10 or 15 years.
Just
Yeah,
ask Hathol where he was when Bambi's mother died.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking
that's
like an eclipse or like a major earthquake, some major event of nature that anybody in the world would have noticed.
that anyone in the world would have noticed. The
least on this
closest
side
you'd
of the
probably get to that is probably like an eclipse, right? Like one of the last major eclipses. So they're not like horribly infrequent. They're not in this world. They're not like an omen of bad sign or something like that, because you have an aspect of the moon, right? You have an aspect of Altus, and so when Altus crosses the sun, which is the aspect Rocked owns the sun, right? That's his domain. And, you know, Altus creates the night sky while in the middle of the day, you know, covering Rocked. The worshippers of the aspect Altus, it's like it'd be one of their like festivals, right? Like that'd be one of their celebrations, one of their days that they celebrate. And for this world, it's probably like once a year or something like that you'd be able to measure time off of.
Okay.
But it would be something that would encompass at least the wastes, and definitely the entirety of Eladin as a whole.
Okay. So then I guess I'll ask Hathol. Say, do you remember how many eclipses you've seen since coming to the Wastes?
Before I answer that, the question would be roughly how frequent are the eclipses?
Once a year. Yeah.
Okay.
You get them like once a year. They're not always on like the same day or something like that, but it would definitely be like. I've
spent most of my adult life in the Wastes, but the last time I returned south was 2 eclipses ago.
All right. Good to know. Well, let's try not to stay here that long then.
While walking, because we are both of have elven bloodline in ourselves, I'd be able to. I'm just trying to see if I can gauge if I'm older, he is older, just so I can see how much I should respect him. Like an insight or perception check to see if any.
Yeah, it would be a perception. You'd be trying to notice physical features about him.
Yeah.
I would say it would be like investigation if you were like right up on top of him, right? Like counting wrinkles or whatever. But like if you're just like you're watching how he walks, you're watching his like his body features and things like that.
Right.
You make a perception check on that. The DC for this is going to be set by Tom. Because it's going to be how noticeable are like the aging features of Hathol, right? Like what, based on what he's wearing, he's got like robes and half plate on, so maybe only his face is very visible, but like, and he's got this wild red hair, right? So it's going to be up to Hathol to say like, oh yeah, based on this number, you can probably figure out that he's X age, okay? Yeah, so go ahead and roll that perception check for Hathol here.
So like the weirdest game of Guess Who ever.
What is?
Yeah, pretty close, this? Right? 16. So
okay, cool.
16 is pretty good, just for reference, Hathol. Do you think what do you think Miera like gauges your age as for like you as a half elf?
So I don't think we really settled on a specific age during character creation.
No. I kind of left that up to you.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna be able to figure out that he's I guess what you might call middle-aged, not firmly in adulthood, not a young adult.
Gotcha.
There's a lifetime of experience like etched across his face,
right?
From whatever he's been doing.
I mean, he's spent the last 2 years out in the waste, right? Which is it's a desert. It's a lot of sun, a lot of sand, a lot of so maybe those are evident as well.
He's a rugged tan boy.
If a point of reference is at all like needed, because I'm full-blooded wood elf. I have Miara's age for 130. Yeah, and that was young adult.
Yes,
I always love women.
Yeah, so half elves. I'm trying to think.
You're gonna sense that Hathol is older than you.
Okay.
But you're not really sure by how much because he's weathered.
Gotcha.
From being in the desert.
Sure.
That's at least all I really.
Are you 100% elf, Hathol?
No, I'm half. I'm half.
You're half.
Yeah.
So
hence
physically,
the beard. I couldn't have the wild red beard if I was full elf.
God.
Well, I have red hair as a. Oh yeah, you can't have the beard as an.
Yeah, full elves don't have beards.
No, half elves have beards.
Yeah. So I was trying to figure out like how age. Here we go. Half elves mature at the same rate as humans do, reach adulthood around the age of 20. They live much longer than humans, however, often exceeding 180 years. So you like roughly you'd be like, all right, like 220 is probably like the full life of a half elf. Okay. So middling age from there being what, like what'd you say, 180 or something?
North of 130.
North of 130.
Yeah. North of 130. Okay.
So, but that's the thing too. So, like, your perception here is also telling you that, oh, he has elvish lineage. Right?
Yes.
Like, you can tell that now. Yeah. You can see kind of the peaks on the ears and things like that, and you can see that maybe he's hiding it through the beard and stuff like that. But so you kind of get a rough gauge on his age there. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Sounds good. Yeah. So you guys are continuing to walk. I think here, you guys are walking and talking, but I'm going to want some perception checks just from those that are Hathol's is probably pretty focused on actually like guiding you guys currently, right? So perception checks from those of you that are like entering in and out of conversations or whatever like that to maybe what you're keeping an eye on your surroundings. So if I can get, I think that's gonna be Darien, Ignas, Miera, unless you guys want to be doing something else.
I think Miara's focus is strictly on Hathol.
Sure. Yeah, and that's
Hathol
that
can feel the eyes burrowing into his spine right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and actually,
Miara might be kind of alert to everything, to like everything around him.
I think Ignas is the only one who's not really worried about Hathol, simply because he figures, all right, he helped us out. He knows where Adis is. Great.
And he made you laugh, right?
Or, yes. He'll either lead us there or we kill him. So let's just keep an eye on the world.
Okay, yeah. So go ahead and roll that for Ignas there. So Darien and Ignas are keeping their eyes out. With Miara.
Perception.
Miara. 19 and 15. Okay, cool. Good, thanks. Miara, have you let the Hunter's Mark slip yet, or is it still on?
It's on until it fades naturally. Wears off.
Sure. Okay.
Yep. I just let it sit until the spell wears off.
Yeah. So you guys continue through the mountains and stuff like that. If you want to continue your conversations with him, basically while you're talking like this, we're just saying, okay, yeah, you're moving through the mountains, Miara, because I believe this is your favorite terrain. No one incurs any difficulty while moving, right?
Yeah, as long as we have been, I think it's like as long as we've been moving for an hour. I'll drop it in the chat so you can see it. That's favorite enemy.
Favorite enemy. Yep. Hang on. Yeah. Go ahead and drop terrain.
There we go.
Yeah. Difficult terrain doesn't slow your group's travel. Just period. Your group can't become lost except by magical means.
Yeah. Because on top of it says while you're traveling for an hour or more in your favorite terrain, you gain the following benefits.
You're traveling.
Yeah. Okay.
Neat.
So we might struggle at first, but then once you
start, you getting going.
Yeah, once we get going.
Sure. And it totally helps that like you have a guide right now, right?
Yes.
So like getting going doesn't take too much of a long time, and you guys readily set into a good pace through the mountains here. So you're not slowed by the switchbacks, the changes in elevation and stuff like that. You guys have spent a lot of time here in like the mountains and stuff like that. So I'm not super worried about like altitude sickness or whatever the hell. You know what I mean? We're not gonna mess with that.
Right.
Yeah. So you're currently traveling through the mountains, and is there anything that you guys would like to do or talk about for while you're doing so?
All right. I'm going to leave it up to the rest because I can't modify my blueprints while we're moving.
Okay.
Aaron, do you have something?
We were just going to walk for about an hour and then do a short rest, right?
We need to...
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
okay, that's fine.
I was just about to ask what the exact terrain we're at right now is like, if it's going to be suitable for a rest.
I mean, yeah, sure. You're the one leading here, so you're gonna like try to pick a spot, right? So just give me a perception check, Hathol. Let's see what you see, and if there's like a nice little natural, resting spot. A 6. So not super good. Basically, I think what happens is that like Hathol, I think maybe your wounds like they start to become a problem. Travel starts to become laborious.
I can feel it. Yeah.
And you're like, okay, it's been roughly an hour, right? I gotta sit down.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you're feeling right
guys. Now. Yeah, I must recuperate. It is time for us to rest.
Of course. You fought valiantly. So
I have taken severe wounds. I must take some rest.
Of course.
They have to take everything so much.
What?
I take everything.
Take. That's all he does. Can you remind me what time of day it is again?
So if I'm remembering correctly, you left early morning from the orc camp.
Okay.
Traveled for about 3 hours, then were ambushed. So 4 hours after that, it's probably approaching noon.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, lunchtime.
Yeah. It's probably like it's probably for this it's like 11:30 to noon. Yeah. So you guys like you watch Hathol basically just like sit down and begin to rest.
Mm-hmm.
So Hathol, during your rest, there's 2 things that you get to do because you are a warlock. So you recover your spell slots.
Yep.
As long as you spend time with your like communing with your your patron, right? Which in this case is your aspect, and your book. Additionally, you're able to roll your hit die here to recover some health.
Okay.
So for if you don't know, and for guys in the chat that don't know, hit die are dice that they can roll to regain HP on short rests, and they will regain half the total number of hit die on a long rest. At level 5, you all have 5 hit die. So Hathol, you can spend as many as you'd like right now to recoup some HP here.
So I have a question.
Yeah, what's up?
Is it only a warlock thing that short rests recover spell slots?
There are various classes that allow that.
Like warlock, sorcerer, and
I was
wizard.
like, oh man, is there something I haven't?
Wizard does not. Wizard has an ability to recover a single slot.
Yeah.
It's called Arcane Recovery.
Yeah.
But no. Paladin one is you're tapped out until
yeah,
you can pray at the end of the day or in the morning. Right?
Side note, the bookmark I have for our site is
it's down. Yep. So you know how we had to change that one of those last times?
Yeah.
It finally got found and stricken off the internet. So I'll have to get you guys a new one at some point. Yeah, that's why I have all of my books next to me right now.
Yeah, smart.
Yes.
Can we
Hathol.
Can I clarify? I get 5 hit die, and do you say on a short rest I will gain half of whatever I roll off of them? Yeah.
No. So for your hit die, you see where that box is? In the center of your sheet, where it says right under temporary hit points.
Yep.
So I'm going to go ahead and put that total in there. You have 5 currently, right?
Yep.
So what you're going to do is you're going to click the word hit die, and it's going to roll a number, and you're going to regain that amount of HP.
Okay.
And you can do that as many times as you'd like.
Okay.
So that's 6 back.
Okay, I'm going to keep going.
9. Nice. Good roll.
Hello.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Okay. And another 6. So a total of, what is that, 21?
21, yeah.
Yep, so 21 hit points back. That'll put you at 32 total.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit there.
Sure. Yeah. So go ahead and mark.
I don't see the point using a die for the extra 2.
Yeah.
You know, you say that, but I'm gonna roll one, even though I'm one off from max, because I got 5 hit die and we're stopping.
Sure.
I may as well.
So there's 5.
I may as well get my HP back to max because I'm feeling low. I'm not actually low, but I'm feeling low.
I was even hitting the last one.
Yeah.
I was.
You got.
I was.
No.
I was.
Miera.
Yeah. So I don't need to use it.
So Hathol, so Tom, to get back on what happens with these hit die, you've spent them now.
Yeah.
If you take a short rest today, you can spend those next 2, right?
Yeah, okay.
You could do that if you'd like.
Yeah.
But you, at the end of the day, after a long rest, you'll regain half of the total, which is 5. You always round down for halves in D&D, so you'll regain 2 at the end of the day.
Okay, I got you.
Okay. Yep. And so, and let's say you don't spend any the next day, right? And you'll regain 2, but your max is 5, so you'll be maxed out again if you don't spend for like 2 days.
Okay. Yep.
So that's how all that works. So so Hathol is resting. He's rolled his hit die. And Hathol, now you're probably studying your book here, right? Because you want to regain your magical ability. So what does that look like as you either study or you're suffused with more magical ability?
So I'm sitting cross-legged, book open on my lap, and the same black, smoky aura that came out of it when I cursed the orc is kind of just like waving over the surface of the pages.
Okay. So you guys watch this happen. You're watching him go through this weirdly dark book with this smoke and stuff, and it's
blowing smoke rings through it. Blowing smoke rings.
And he's like, it's like encasing his body here, right? Like it's around him. What do? You guys have seen black smoke in a similar context not super long ago. Yeah.
I'm gonna investigate.
Yeah, you do that. So what would you like to do? What do you think? Are you gonna talk to him about it, or?
While he's in the void, I want to kind of inspect it and see what kind of similarities I can spot between this and
so the smoke
specifically
itself.
what Val Rule had going on.
Sure, yeah. So go ahead and make an investigation check then. You like squat down. Well, you don't really have to squat down because you're a gnome, but you start intensely studying the smoke itself. Yeah. Okay. So 25. It's almost instantaneously noticeable to you that this is different. It's not the same. It's heavier. It's not acrid. It doesn't have that like acidic quality to it that the the ruins did, right? Like it doesn't have that quality to it, and it seems to be limited to the book and Hathol himself.
And then I think Ignas turns to the others and says, "I don't think he'll explode."
I start to like manhandle the smoke and it like let it cascade through my fingers.
Yeah,
as if it was liquid. And the whole time I'm just mumbling under my breath, like.
Also, I think he might be a little off.
You think?
It's a theory. I'm working on it.
Want to make assumptions. Everybody serves a different aspect. I admit that this is a little weird. Would I know, given the ritual that he's doing, what aspect, if any, he's communing with?
Make a religion check for me. Yeah,
at this point, I'm now taking handfuls of this smoke and just pouring it over my head.
He's bathing in the smoke.
Yeah, he's bathing in it as he scoops it from the book and bathes in it.
I mean, not unlike my childhood, because my mom was a heavy smoker. So I mean,
okay. I'm gonna do a thing. I'm gonna take like a spoon or a fork or whatever kind of eating utensil I have for the ration.
Do it.
No, please.
I'm gonna try and scoop out a portion of that smoke.
Pete eats it and starts dying. That's it.
So Hathol, because this is your thing, right? Is the smoke heavy enough to be like scooped out onto like a thing? Like does it hold its shape? It's
It's yellow.
Like on a spoon,
it's almost viscous.
Oh, so it's very thick. Yeah.
It's clearly gaseous, but it has like liquid properties almost in the way that it's I mean it's
so
something special.
Yellow.
Almost
so
like
I sense this spoon coming in, and just my head snaps up. Don't even dare.
Why? Does it not taste very good?
You couldn't handle it, my friend.
Ignas, you're already on the
Can I borrow some?
Push it.
Yes, but science.
I sense you have a problem with substances, my friend. This is perhaps one you should avoid.
Real quick, did I recognize the thing with the 15?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to come around.
Thanks.
Yeah. So what you probably recognize here is the writing on the book.
Mm-hmm.
Is what's going to... The smoke itself seems to be a property of something that you don't necessarily understand. With your check, you can tell that it's different. Again, much like Ignas could. It takes you a little bit of time, but you figure out, okay, it's not like what we saw down in the Dwarven stronghold like those weeks ago, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different in that case, but the book itself strikes a chord with you.
Mm-hmm.
And it kind of reminds you again of like when he said earlier, he apparently had invoked the name of Druvani at some point, right? Is the aspect of destruction.
Yeah.
It seems to be religious text from the aspect for Druvani, and it not necessarily a type you've seen or what you've seen, but being raised in like a religious manner, right, and becoming a paladin and serving as like an ardent of some kind, right? You would have become acquainted with the other aspects, as is what generally all the religious people of this world do, right? They understand that they all worked in various ways together and against each other. So it doesn't look like something that you've seen previously, right? But it does, you can see it and you're like, okay, this does look similar enough to one of those texts.
Okay.
At this point, I can clearly sense the fear, trepidation, distrust, confusion around what's going on
about the
here.
Scientific curiosity.
Hathol's just figured out that you have a problem. Okay, and he's willing to help with that in time. Okay.
My only problem is not enough science.
Cold turkey is probably the best option for you right now. But I close the book very gently.
Yeah.
Golden embossed text on the front just glistens, and I just look at the group. I can sense you have many questions. Now would be the time to ask them.
How does it
Sure.
taste, the smoke?
When you close the book, does the smoke just like?
Oh
into
yeah,
it?
like sucks
Yeah?
inside, man. It's
Yeah.
gone. Yeah.
Does that smoke have like energizing properties? Could it be used to like power a small machine?
The smoke is not for you, my friend.
What could it be?
Ignis, I
Never.
would back off just in case.
Never for you.
Oh,
My lord.
fine.
My lord, if I may, this is a ritual to Druvani. Yes.
Indeed, Dravani, my mistress. She speaks. She empowers.
Yes.
Aryan thing. I'll be over there.
You must forgive the Duke. He's
I,
not.
I feel he must open his
aspects.
mind a little more sometimes.
He does, not necessarily in the ways.
The aspects are not strangers to the ways of science.
No, of course not. He's very set in his ways, which are mysterious even to me. But know that I don't approach from a place of fear, more curiosity, and a mutual.
You are curious about my book, no?
Yes, I suppose so. I serve the Lady Alis, and so our rituals are quite different. But
They
fascinating.
take their
nonetheless.
shirts off.
One time in a temple, but yes.
I just look over at look over at Ignis, and like, your scorn of the divine is saddening, my friend.
Not scorn. It's just weird.
Your face is weird.
Jesus Christ.
I have to say really quick that this is even funnier because I can't see Rel, so it's really like he's just shouting in the distance.
I just think of Archer or Krieger. Me too.
Ugly.
Yeah, that.
Jeez.
Anyway,
Oh my goodness.
Well, you needn't mind him. He's my burden to bear.
I will say this: the book has been with me almost all my life. Some would say the book found me as a child.
Did you grow up around a monastery or a temple?
Nope. I was raised with a family of farmers. I spent my days exploring the forests, shirking my work, and there I found the book, and there I found my mistress.
And I'm no stranger to farming. My family was a farming family in Erdrick. So we're not so different.
It is good to meet a fellow lover of the earth.
Absolutely. I'm a lover.
A lover.
Now look at
We'll
me,
talk
right?
about this later.
I'm just hitting on all the elves. This is dope.
Yeah. They got pointy ears. You're in there, man.
Hell yeah, man.
I mean, so here's because Darien also
That's my
knows
kink,
Elvish,
baby.
right?
Yeah.
Darien knows Elvish, right?
He knows Elvish.
I do
Yeah.
know Elvish.
So
Yeah,
I wa-
now you have 3 people in the party that know Elvish.
Hell yeah.
And one
We
who
can
does
talk
not.
shit about Ignis.
I want to talk to Miera now.
Yeah. So Darien, I guess your conversation kind of comes to a close. You have an appreciative nod to each other about like
Yeah.
some of the religious similarities, even though you have differing aspects. But your upbringing was maybe a little similar. So there's maybe some appreciation there.
Sure.
Yeah, Miara, you've probably been sitting off to the side, maybe like hanging out with Balmiara, listening in.
Yeah, and I've been
so-
like close to them, so.
Yeah. So Hathol, you're free to address her.
Miera, your distrust saddens me.
You'll have to forgive me. I've been wandering around the continent for a while now. A lot of it was alone, and I've had some trouble at home, and I'm searching. Every now and again we've run into faces that aren't so friendly, so I do apologize if I do seem harsh. I prefer to judge people by their actions more than their words.
I understand. And I feel our stories run somewhat parallel. I haven't seen my family in many, many decades. I've been wandering the deserts mainly, alone, for a long time. But for me, that was the way I wanted it. For you, perhaps not.
I have to ask, though, since you've been in the waste for so long, what made you decide to travel up towards the northern mountains? And now we are turning back like it's nothing. I only grow curious as to what your reasons are.
There are times when I must return to where I came from. I will remain unseen in those places, but home will always be home. But I always will jump at an opportunity to return to my beloved wasteland.
Home will always be home. You're right. In that regard, anyway. Well,
Perhaps in time we will understand one another better.
I think that's really what it will take. I will grow cautious, and I do apologize for that. I only look out for the safety of myself and my comrades. And you are still new.
Well, I hope I will earn the title of comrade.
You're getting there.
Are we done with the huggy kissy stuff? Can we go?
Are you sure he can't
off,
have
Ignas.
I think on that note, yeah, like your short rest comes to an end, right? Short rests are about an hour long. So like Hathol has recovered his health and some of his magic and his magical ability and stuff like that. And I think that's where we come to like our first break for today's session. We're gonna make it a quick one because we do want to get as much as we possibly can into this and make it to the wasteland today because that's gonna be awesome.
Heck
we will
yeah.
be right back.
Boy.
Welcome
And
back to DieFall.
Hi.
Where everyone is arguing about things. It's fine. It's fine.
It's really no different than it usually is. So.
Yeah, it's the same. So, anyways, I think we've come to the end of your short rest. Everyone's done the things. They've talked some stuff. It's been great, and I think you're back on the mountain road.
Heck
I'll
yeah.
I'll wrap up the short rest just by saying we must move before the next sandstorm comes.
Sure, yeah.
Sandstorm.
I'm actually really excited for that because I can do things with it that I didn't realize I could before.
I need that to be
Oh
my
my
end screen
God.
song now, just in case. Oh man, yeah.
Anyway.
So you guys are, yeah, you're still in the mountainscape, but and I think you start moving. So we're gonna just do some travel paperwork, I suppose, right? So I'm assuming you guys are taking the same order here. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I
And
did want to
then,
have a
I'm
conversation.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say I'm alongside Ignis this time. I'm content with.
Okay, so
knowing
is
that
Hathol
is-
solo up front or is someone with him?
I'll stay up front, I think, to help keep an eye out on things.
Yeah, so Hathol and Miera are up front, and then you have Ignis and Darien,
Yeah.
and then as per usual, Balmiar bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
And
yeah,
I wanted to ask
Good
Darien
boy.
Yeah.
while we're walking.
Yeah.
So, where do you see yourself in 5 years, Darien? Like, let's say that.
Interview
Is this a
time.
job interview? Am I being fired?
No, possibly promoted.
Yeah. Just don't say doing your son.
Doing
What?
wife?
What?
Don't say
Yeah,
doing your
no.
wife. Don't say doing your wife. Don't say doing your wife. Doing your
And yours.
son.
What kind of cold medicine are you on right now?
He's
dude?
thinking of Family Guy right now.
That's
I
a
don't know
family.
why.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
Family
yeah,
Guy
okay.
episode. I know. It took me a
You said
second too. I was like,
promotion. No, I'm sorry. I would blame the cold medicine, but this is how my brain normally operates. So
Gotcha.
no, I mean, like, let's say we retake Erdrick.
Uh-huh.
Let's say we're all alive at that time.
hmm
Let's say I'm even alive at that time, and
so.
I officially become the Duke of Erdrick. What do you see yourself doing?
Well, I suppose I will return to House Heroncrest, see my family again, and at that point, I believe my father will likely have retired. Maybe I will be the head of the house. I haven't really thought about it, my lord, to be honest.
You wouldn't want to come work for me as the head of my personal guard.
My lord,
Cha-ching!
it's a great honor. Thank you.
Well, you've proven yourself on more than one occasion.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, this is, as of yet, hypothetical. We still need to retake the city.
Oh,
I
of
still
course.
need to be
Of course.
recognized as the Duke of Erdrick. But if we can manage it, then
If this was an
You-
episode of The Walking Dead, this is the
Yeah.
episode Darien dies.
oh
Yeah,
god,
this
don't
is
be
it,
upset.
right?
Yes,
This is
is
too
it.
nice. This is too nice.
This is it.
Where do you see
yourself?
Let's just say you have an open invitation, if you so choose. If it would be, oh, what's a different way I want to put this? I would feel safer with you by my side.
Absolutely, my lord. You can count on me.
And then
And
I
we
just
will
want to, yeah, I just want to mutter to myself under my breath so that Darien can't hear. Certainly lasted longer than the last friend I had.
Whoa.
Alexa, this is so sad. Play
The
Despacito.
Wow.
It worked. Stop playing. Alexa, stop playing. We'll get claimed. All right, I'm sorry. I'm done memeing.
That's
Okay.
awesome.
Okay. Wow.
Somebody clip that in chat. Clip
yeah,
that.
someone clip that. So, anyways, yeah. So I think what, like, unless you guys have like stuff you want to talk about, what we're gonna do with this is,
Oh god.
so some of you guys don't really necessarily know how far you have to go or where you're going or whatever. The only person that does know is Hathol, and no one's necessarily asked him anything about this.
I did ask. I asked if
you
he
said-
knew.
Yes,
And
but
I rolled it.
he knows
very
how to get to
nice.
Addis. Yes, he does.
Okay.
But no one's asked anything else about this.
Like how
Oh,
long it'll take.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's an interesting question. So I guess I would pipe up and ask. So Hathol, about how long or how far away would you say that Addis is from here? Been traveling about what? 2 hours
So-
now?
Yeah, you've been traveling for 2 hours now, and it's somewhere in the wasteland north of here, right?
Like
So Hathol,
1 day, 3 days.
Hathol, you know this to be probably about like a week and a half to 2 week journey.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Addis is in there, and the issues that you come across generally with this, and this hasn't been asked or shared or anything like that, is like you mentioned, sandstorms. The terrain changes occasionally. Some of these sandstorms can really alter the landscape that exists
Hope I can make
and cause issues. You know, additionally adding to why it takes so long to get to certain places out in a desert. So that's what you know. Addis is kind of like a secreted away place for these hobgoblin tribes, right? These nomadic tribes that you've traveled with occasionally and things like that. And it's one of those that they always come back to, but it tends to be pretty well, guarded / like hidden as a secret, right? It's one of their ritual areas. But yeah, from like this point, you've already spent 2 days in the mountains, like hiking up to where you are to like head southwards. And now, so you've got 2 days down the mountains, and then you're out in the desert for roughly a week and a half to 2 weeks.
Well, we must keep up a fast pace. If we beat the next sandstorm, I expect it to take roughly 14 moon risings.
14. That's longer than I expected. Well, certainly glad to have you as a guide. 14
If you seek
days,
the treasures of
holy crap.
Adis, you must put in the work first.
All right.
So yeah, but like, so because of the length of time that this is, right? Like this is not like a quick, swift ordeal. But I think we've spent our time in the mountains now, right? Like we've done the thing in the mountains. So I think unless there's like conversations that you want to continue, you guys want to keep having and stuff like that, I say that we're gonna just say they're spread out over the next couple days, right? Like these are things that you're doing for the next couple of days. So if there's things that you want to do for the next 2 days before you get to the desert. Now's the time to bring those up, and we accomplish those now prior to getting to the wasteland.
Okay. Hey, Ignis, do you mind grabbing a couple more arrows out of the bag of holding for me? 2?
Just 2? That's it? All right,
I
fine.
just need
Here
to
you
top
go.
off the quiver.
Here you go. I do have 2 arrows, right?
Good.
Oh yeah. I got.
You have like 1 billion.
I got more than 2 dozen. So go nuts.
Yeah, cool. That's good. Question for the DM.
Yes, sir.
How many rations should we burn if it's by the time we get to the end of?
Yeah. So you're still in the mountains, which is your favorite terrain, right?
Yeah.
You have the opportunity for you're not an outlander though, right?
No.
So outlanders like automatically have the ability to like go find food and water and stuff like that. But for you, all we have to do is like we make a survival check and see if you can find or hunt or gather game.
Yes.
And it's more than welcome to be like helped out by any of the various party members if they want to help you do stuff. Like, you know, maybe you hunt down a deer or something or some rabbits, or you find some berries and some fresh water. Again, you're in the mountains. This is your favorite terrain. This is easier for you to do here. So you're more than able to do that while you're traveling through here.
Based on what Natural Explorer says, it says when you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the roll that we're gonna make, the roll that you would make is basically survival, and if you make over a 10, right, it's basically a coin flip, right?
Yeah,
but
yeah.
you have a bonus. If you make over a 10, you found sufficient amounts of food.
Okay.
Which means like you found double the sufficient amount of food, right?
Gotcha.
So like that's how that works for you.
Okay. Sounds good. Cool.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Yeah. So make two survival rolls for me.
Sounds good. I don't know what it's like. There's a new thing on Roll20 that I've got right now. Oh, it's got 3D dice enabled.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I disabled that just
I'm
so
gonna
I could
disable
roll
that.
faster.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have trouble loading some of the screens, disable the 3D dice for sure.
Whoops. Accidentally hit exit game. My bad.
Well, the 22 is pretty good.
Yeah.
And you know what? For the sake of this, we'd be like, okay, you had enough with leftovers because you have twice as much.
leftovers, so
You're
we don't
good
need
for
to
2
hunt for-
days.
yeah.
Yeah, you're good for 2 days. You know
Is
what I
the
mean?
bag of holding refrigerated?
It is. There's actually there's bags of colding that exist that are like refrigerated bags of holding.
I want one.
Yeah.
The real one.
So, and for things like holding like
There
monster
we go.
that hold
That's
like
so stupid.
Monster organs for black market trades.
yeah.
You know, like those guys who ride the motorbikes with the cold box on the back with the heart for the transplant in it.
Yeah,
I know
yeah,
those.
yeah.
Bag
love
of
that.
colding with like monster heart in it or something.
I like that it rhymes though. The back.
So and I see the things in the chat. Yeah, it goes to a pocket dimension, but the thing is like
Is it
magic
refrigerated?
wise, it's magic, right? So pocket dimensions can be designed to be a certain temperature, right?
Yeah.
So like they can be a freezing temperature, so they could be a
mean,
bag of colding.
Let me put it this way. Remember when I was carrying around
Love
goblin
it, Dad.
corpses in my bag?
They're robotic in the back.
decomposing.
That's the thing. If my bag doesn't stink, then it must be a bag of colding.
That's not how that works. So...
Look, the smell is expanding across an infinite amount of space. so it won't
Ignis's
smell
logic
bad.
is flawless.
Yeah, and I open the pocket dimension and I smell. Must be good.
Who left the lid off the mayonnaise?
Yeah, Yeah, not to mention that's like not how any of that works, but that's fine. But yeah, so just on a point for that, because I always thought it was interesting. It's so like, you know, some magical things are monster parts, and depending on like what type of monster parts or if they need like to be preserved, monster hunters will be taking bags of colding so they can hold them in refrigerated capacity and bring them wherever they can. Anyways, so that's that.
We have leftovers.
You have leftovers. You have enough.
Entire point of this.
Yeah, you have leftovers. There's enough fruit,
giggles.
like nuts, berries, and like let's say like cooked rabbit that you guys are able to like supplement what you have to make it through 2 days through the mountains easily enough without worrying about food and water. So your water skins are full, and things like that. So
that's why you have me.
that's a good reason to have a ranger.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the next 2 days happen. Is there anything that you guys want to accomplish elsewise on those 2 days?
No, but I just realized. Oh well, Miara, you should do the training with the armor.
Yes. Over that time, that's
I
what
just
happened.
realized it took us 31 episodes and multiple character deaths / like people leaving, people coming back to get the optimal party.
Maybe?
Like we have a hunter, we've got a spellcaster who does crazy damage, we have a paladin that can heal and sort of tank, and we have Ignis who again like kind of like can
Support class.
and
Just
Yeah.
launch
Everything.
things.
I
Yeah.
can
It
heal.
took
I
us
can
31
damage.
episodes to figure this shit out, but by God we did it.
It's happening. We'll get it. We'll get it. We'll get it eventually.
We'll get there soon. That's fine. Yeah. So
There we go.
so yeah. So let's go ahead and handle that for you, Miara. So Miara, you take like let's say like an hour for the next 2 days at the night, or like when you guys are resting or something like that. Like if you do a short rest or something like that, and you want to like put him through some of his paces and things like
Yeah.
that. Make me 2 animal handling checks, please.
Cool. Just want to check see how I'm normal. Cool. Animal handling 16 and 14.
Yeah. So both of those go relatively well. It seems that Balmir is definitely like, you know, was uncomfortable with it, but having spent a couple days already, like you guys have been traveling
For a little
that's
while.
4 days and then like another 2. So you guys have been traveling a total of
A week.
6 days since he's gotten the armor.
Yeah, about a week. Yeah.
So yeah, so you're already done a week, and like this is now going to help him do that. And if you continue rolling well, for me, I'm saying the DC for this is like a 12.
Cool.
So if you beat 12 consistently over time, you'll continually shorten the days that are necessary to do it. So right now you've knocked off 2 days of the 3 weeks that you would need to have him go.
Sounds good.
Right. Okay. So yeah. Anyone else want to do things? I just read the hand-holding thing. Son of
Dude, the puns. I'm broken.
Oh,
I love this.
okay. All right. Yeah. So is it anyone else want to do anything?
I think
Yes, I do, but it's
Okay.
well. The only thing Ignis would be doing over the course of 2 days is continually. I'm sick. Sorry. Continually refining his construct plans.
Sure. Yeah. You're more than able to do that, and you're working on just your class level 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think the other thing I wanted to do was craft, and I think this is a racial thing. Craft a lighter.
Yeah, because you can tinker yourself a lighter.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can totally take a
myself,
night to do. Does it specify how long that takes to? Is it just like a night? It's like an hour.
It's
something?
either short rest or long rest. It's
I
not
don't
that.
remember.
It's not.
Using just sent me this
excessive.
thing.
It's a small thing.
Yeah, hang on. Oh, my mouse is all wonky. There we go. Classes. Duzen, thanks for sending me the new thing.
Oh, there's a new thing.
Yeah, he linked it earlier. I'll get it to you guys in a
it's
little bit.
literally just. I think it's 5etools.com.
Yeah,
It's awesome. It works.
yeah. It's exactly the same, which is really good.
That's what I've been using for a while.
That's fine. As long as
that
it
was
works for you.
I think that was the original one, and then there was the new one that
and then
we
it got
bookmarked.
it got canceled, and now it's back.
Yeah.
Okay.
that's why.
Masterwork feature.
Dope.
What's the thing called? The skill? Wondrous invention? No. What's the tinkering thing called? Rel.
I think it's a gnome thing.
Oh, it's a gnome thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a rock gnome thing.
Rock gnome? Yeah, hang on. Let me get that real quick. Rock Gnome. It's literally called Clockwork Toy.
Yeah.
You have the options: Clockwork Toy, Firestarter, and Music Box.
Yeah, that's what I wanted.
It takes
What about
using your
fire
tinker's
starting
tools.
stuff?
Using these tools, you spend an hour and 10 gold worth of materials to construct a tiny thing. Has an AC of 5 and 1 HP. This device ceases to function after 24 hours unless you spend an hour repairing it, or when you use your action to dismantle it.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
why I didn't make it. That's why I didn't make it.
You can have
before,
up to
because it's just
3 devices at a time.
yeah, because it seems very needy for a machine. Like, why should I have to maintain something that I'm not actively using? Oh well. Anyway, let's see. I think I will skip that. The only other thing I wanted to do was finally address the dynamite in the room. I have a
Yep.
what?
Go on.
And
I have a stick of dynamite that I basically disassembled,
Mhm.
and I wanted to attempt to assemble it to reassemble it into just anything that would be sufficient. Anything
Episode
that
5,
would
where Ignis gets a hug.
He blows up his leg.
I think you wanted to reassemble the thing. I think we decided on that you didn't have the materials necessary to do that, though. And I don't think you've picked up the materials at any point in time to do so.
Yeah, you're right. Dang it.
Because you have alchemist tools, right? But, like, you don't have the material to, like, reconstruct a piece of dynamite, you know?
Yeah, I need a glass globe
Sure.
and like a bunch of small nails.
No. Yeah, so it's like at this point in time, you don't have those things. So if you'd like to do something else with it, you're more than welcome to.
No, that's it. No, I'll wait till I get back to something resembling civilization and get the materials.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, so Darien, you said you had something that you might
Oh
want to do.
yeah, I think every night Darien tries to
You attempt to commune with Alis.
scotch
Yeah.
off to a quiet place.
Yeah,
Get
okay.
naked and
Yeah, so
Gets super naked.
for you, you want to be able to commune with Alis or have. I guess what are you calling for your goal? Let's call your goal communing with Alis. Are you talking about like reaching her plane of existence again?
Yeah, just I guess
That like astral projection plane that you had fallen through?
yeah,
Okay.
making sure. I guess that's the only way that I can see that my connection with her. I mean, I guess my powers are my connection with her, but
Those are still maintained. Yep.
yeah.
So yeah, you can certainly try. I mean, you can make the attempt. Yeah, so go ahead. I think for these it's definitely going to be religion checks. So you're going to attempt to reach your god. Yeah, nice. Good command. Attempt to reach Alis twice, right? You're going to make that attempt. So go ahead and roll it twice for me.
Oh god, if I get 11s twice, I'm gonna throw up.
Okay.
Fate joins us again.
Yeah.
Why do you have
Well,
-2 on religion?
Because I'm
it's-
stupid as dick.
it's an intelligence feature. Yeah. It's an
Oh,
intelligence
yeah.
feature.
It's a horrible
Oh, man.
I mean, what
and
are
I
you gonna
can't
do?
even I couldn't even make it proficient. Like nothing gave me a proficiency in religion for whatever reason.
Paladin
man.
should have. I think it was an option
Was it? Then why didn't I do it?
because there's a lot of useful ones.
I guess
There are. Religion
Yeah.
really does not come up very much.
Upon the next time you can get a feat for like your level things.
Karma, I do believe it is actually intelligence, but I'm gonna go check now because the level of exclamation points you have there is making me second guess myself.
No, it is intelligence confirmed
Yeah.
on roll 20.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I know it's weird, but hey, there we are. Yeah. So the first night you do your regular prayers, and you feel like that magic return to you just as you do every night. But again, you definitely don't feel like the physical presence that you have felt before. The second night, wow, that's actually really because any idiot can believe in a deity.
I like
Good.
that.
All
I
right.
like that a
Good.
lot.
Yeah, that's nice. So The second night, though, when as you feel yourself being like suffused with Aelis's like light and power, you feel a slight warming up near your collarbone area, like below your armor.
Hey.
Yeah.
And
when you like reach to like figure out what it is, your religious symbol is warm to the touch. And in the cold mountain night air, it's definitely a contrast, right? Like you can definitely tell that this is not the temperature that it was previously. It was cold metal prior, and now it is holding some form of heat. So whether or not that was a contact point or something like that, it's definitely not the level of communion maybe you were hoping for.
No, but I think it puts Darien at ease.
Yeah. So it definitely
Yeah.
It reminds you that Halis is at least there.
Yeah.
You're still in contact. Okay. So that's what you do. Hathol, is there anything that you'd like to accomplish for the 2 days? Do you observe what these people are doing and do anything else, or do you have something that you want to be doing separately from them? What's going on? You got like 2 days left in the mountains here. If there's something that you want to do.
Yeah. So it's just kind of a lot of meditation, just contemplation on. There's no. I don't want to constantly being like direct convening with Drovani through the book and stuff like that's. We don't do that morning, noon, and night. That's kind of a situational thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I have this just, I guess some would call it a disconcerting habit of just constantly mumbling to myself.
Sure.
And I guess people around me don't really know what's going on, but it keeps me calm.
Do you do it in common, or do you do it in a specific language?
It's almost.
You have quite a list of languages that you can pull from.
I do. I mean, it's almost kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It's almost like hybrid. Like it just weaves in and out of various languages as I go.
Sure. Yeah. So you guys find that Hathol is like mumbling to himself. Pretty consistently. Hathol as well. I remember that we figured out a thing. You don't sleep, do you?
No.
Yeah. So the first night, it becomes readily apparent to you guys that Hathol doesn't sleep. So when you guys like come to talk about watches, Hathol, do you tell them about this, or do you just let them experience the fact that like you might lie down and rest, but you don't sleep?
Yeah, so like nighttime is kind of, I do a lot of pacing at nighttime. It's not even lying down and resting. It's just wandering around the area, still mumbling.
Yeah, so you like wander around camp or around the campfire itself or something like that, mumbling. Yeah, so like, all right, party, what do you make of it? That's kind of an interesting thing to be doing.
So I guess I'll approach him and just, reassuringly, like, my friend, we all split the watch. If you would like to rest, you're obviously entitled to that.
I rest when I need to, but sleep is something I have not needed in a long time.
Impressive. The things I could get accomplished if I didn't need to sleep.
More like the things I could get accomplished?
I do stuff.
Trust me, you'll find if you lose the need to sleep, that procrastination very quickly becomes your best friend.
I can't procrastinate.
I know a thing or two about procrastination.
No, Darien. What did we talk about?
Is that like pleasuring yourself tomorrow?
Well, okay, in this case, it's Darien mispronouncing one of those words.
Mañana.
It's jerking off when you should be doing something else. Which is kind of what he means, actually.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Miara just kind of walks away from the conversation. She's like,
Sure.
Why do I feel like I'm gonna gain experience for getting closer to Hathol, but lose experience? Thank God that's not an active goal right now.
Jesus.
Oh,
I would take experience.
The DMs that I'm getting right now.
Oh God.
For fuck's sake, Rob. I know everybody's disappointed.
Everyone's disappointed.
I'm not. I'm just super proud of you right now.
I'm just like, oh my God.
Jesus.
I'm in character though right now, so.
Yeah. So do any of you guys like try to
I'm going to
pursue the
sleep.
why, or like do you like kind of just let it be?
I'm going to see if there's anything like any sort of expression on his face that would. I want to make like an insight check to see if there's like a sign of panic or some sort of emotional reasoning behind his pacing.
Sure. Yeah. Go ahead and make an insight check. Tom, you're setting the DC for this.
Well,
A 10. So does Miara gain any insight to like why you pace or you mumble or what's like what's the reasoning behind it?
The only thing that's apparent is I remain extremely calm.
I think the first night I realized this, I would be sort of trying to study him to see, is this magic based? Is this something I could replicate? Because I could get a lot of stuff done without sleep.
I mean, yeah, that's true.
Sure. So you want to like study like why he's not sleeping?
Oh sure, yeah. I'll even ask. Can I?
Yeah. What do you do?
Would you like bend down? Can I just like examine your eyes real quick? Check your ears.
Ignis, you can't just tell people to bend down. 2018.
Oh my God.
You gonna give me a boost?
So
One
Hathol, how do you respond?
One day, I hope you will learn that not everything can be explained through science.
But it can with enough science.
Uh-huh.
Where do you draw the line between science and the divine in that case?
Usually with creating abominations of nature. That didn't turn out well, and my dad said never do that again.
It's apparent to me you have some sort of sickness. A sickness of the mind.
Yes.
It's called genius.
Miara's sitting like on her bedroll from across the fire, just yes.
She doesn't care it's the Duke of Erdrick. She's like, he's fucking batshit crazy.
Genius.
Oh my gosh.
He's gonna get us all killed.
What a crazy web we weave.
Still a genius.
What a story.
What a comedy of errors.
Yeah, so Hathol, do you give him any indication on why you're able to do this or how? Or you just like kind of let it sit?
Yeah, I'm gonna let it sit because
Sure.
as much as I like the cut of this guy Ignas's jib, I find myself increasingly frustrated with his complete disrespect and disregard for everything divine.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, the gods exist, but then there's science. And science can maybe build me something awesome.
For science!
Also, science brought us dynamite.
So
aspects of explosions.
If you remember correctly, I did not need dynamite to disintegrate that orc back there.
But it would have helped.
I just can't wait until Tom gets to use one of his moves and just blows Ignas's mind. It's gonna be great. Anyways, it's gonna be great. Yeah. So I think you guys you progress and you guys see this. So you've met this new companion and stuff like that. And he's got some quirks. Obviously, there's some things that need to be figured out from there. But I think now you guys as you come across, you've noticed over the last day, you've been doing a lot more going down the mountains than you have been going up, right? Like this is the elevation is swiftly changing on the backside of these mountains to where some of them are even just sheer cliff faces that you're having to climb down. the travel becomes much more treacherous on the backside of the spine here. And just in general, I kind of want to see like how you guys. I know you're not supposed to while you're traveling. I understand that with the ranger perks here, you're not impaired by the movement over rough terrain. But I'm talking about like you might even have to like set climbing spikes occasionally, and like there's some stuff that's in the way. So what I want is like general dex checks from you guys or acrobatics if you're proficient. And go ahead and roll those. And this is mostly like, do you find the correct handholds and things when you need to? Are you moving well?
Oh no, honey, no.
Okay.
Hey,
Darien does a backflip.
my not dexterity save, Ignas. Just a acrobatics check, please.
Oh, I saw dexterity, but well, acrobatics is the same. It's got a +2, so
I just did a dex save
fine.
as well, apparently. Does that mean I get to re-roll that?
Is your bonus the same as your acrobatics?
Yeah.
Then no.
Damn it.
So here's the deal though. My assumption is that you're all helping each other travel and do stuff, right? So everything is it's all made with advantage, which means it's not a 1, it's a 14. This is an indication of like there's no reason for anyone to die doing this, right? You guys are helping each other travel. Hathol, you've done this.
We don't need a reason, dude.
yeah, there's no reason. But you're all helping each other, and you would be, unless like for some reason one of you decides, and this is where you tell me right now, Hathol's on a rope and he's gonna fall unless one of you help. Do you help?
Yes.
Okay. Then he lives and it's fine. Like that's what we're getting out of the way here. If all of you said, nah, man, let him fall.
Nah, dude,
okay, then we might have a problem.
If he can actually use his magic to get in.
no, that's the new party where we were competitive on rolls.
How close are they? Are we all within 10 feet right now?
So like the indication, like what I'm talking about right now is like you're having to go down one of those cliff faces that you've previously climbed, right, Hathol? Like you've set climbing spikes here before, like you've climbed this area, and you're like, I like this side better. The traders take that area over there, and the road goes a much different route, right? Because the caravans have to go a different way. Because there's no way that horses are going to make these climbs.
Yeah.
But now you don't have horses, you don't have a wagon. So you're going to climb down some sheer cliff faces here, right? And you're like, this is the way I like to do it because I travel alone. So you have this all set up, and like, Hathol, you lose your footing somewhere. And you're swinging on a rope, but you don't know if you're going to be able to, like, make it. So you're not necessarily... You're probably within 10 to 15 feet of everyone here, right? Like, you're all tied together on ropes, making your way down, like, a cliff face.
Okay.
So yeah, but, like... Darien reaches out and reattaches you, right? Like you're fine. You're fine.
Okay.
It's not super difficult.
I was just gonna ask if I could use Thunderstep out of combat.
You can
just teleport myself with a massive explosion.
You can. All right, so here maybe we do
because I just want to do that to blow Rel's mind. Ignas's mind.
Do you want to set the scene? I was gonna have this be a thing. Let's set the scene. All right, so you guys are
up like Iron Man.
So you guys you are approaching the backside here, and this is the point where like you've come out the northernmost side of the spine here, and this area is just basically sheer cliff faces, and like some resting points here. And Hathol lets you know that this is where he comes in and out. The caravans have to take a longer route, and it would take like another day to get down to the desert here, right? So you're now standing on the edge of the spine here at the northernmost portion, and you're staring out into the waste. The waste is a mixture of dry, cracked ground and large sand dunes scattered with rocks in various locations, and sometimes just blank emptiness for as far as you possibly can see. But now you have to make your way down this sheer cliff face. Hathol looks like he's already set up some climbing pittance here. He's even left, there's a length of rope that's even tied up here at the top that he had left here. So using the climbing gear that you also have, you all tie yourselves together or something, and you try to make your way down the cliff face here. Dexterity checks happen to see if you can make your way down. Hathol fumbles for a moment. Hathol, you're probably within 10 to 15 feet of everyone here. What do you do?
I'm gonna save myself with Thunderstep.
Okay, will you please cast Thunderstep in the chat?
You're gonna kill us all, dude.
Yeah, do we all just die right now? And
no. you're within 10 to 15. It's only going to hurt you if you're within 10. It's fine.
Okay.
The range is only 10 feet.
So if we're at 10 feet, then we're going to get hurt.
We established at the top of the scene that we were 10 feet within each other.
No, he said 10 to 15, which means you're at least 10 feet away.
Right. So
I just dude.
Let's just clarify. I'm not gonna do this if there's anyone within 10 feet. All right, I've got my wits about me here.
Do you?
No.
If they're outside of 10 feet, then I want to do it.
Hathol, make an intelligence check for me.
Oh
No!
Do you have your wits about you?
I do not want to do that now. I instantly regret my decision.
Okay. So here's the action, right? You want to use Thunderous Step. Great. You say you don't want to use it if you're within 10 feet of everyone, but you don't know, right? Unless I'm having you make the check to make sure you know.
Okay.
The thing is, you're falling right now. This is what's happened. You're falling. If you don't do something, or if someone doesn't reach out to get you, then you fall.
Okay.
So this is your choice. You made your personal choice if you want to do Thunderous Step, right? Do you say consequences be damned, I'm saving myself, or do you depend on the fact of one of your friends trying to help you here?
Can I make a perception check to see if I notice anyone reaching out for me?
Yes. Because you have to. So here's the deal. It's like a 100-foot drop.
Yeah.
So you have time while you're falling to figure this out.
Say, hold on real quick. Okay. Hey.
So also, I need a perception check.
Okay, never mind. I was gonna say, if you click on the text on each skill, you roll the check. You rolled an intelligence save, so I wasn't sure if you knew.
Yeah, you can on the sides if you click.
I clicked in the wrong space, but
You silly bastard.
So with a 13, you made. I was gonna say it. It is evident that someone is reaching for you. You don't know if they're gonna make it. You're falling. It's evident that Darien is attempting to save you right now, to catch your line.
Then I should
fall.
place my trust in him.
Darien, make a dexterity.
Oh
fuck.
Are you proficient in dexterity saves?
No.
Okay. So there's a flat dex check to catch the rope.
Okay.
An 11. Yeah, I think it slips through your fingertips here.
Oh boy.
So
I'll grab it.
Yeah.
I mean, so Darien has attempted to do this. So what's the order, right? Hathol's leading. There's no one below you, Hathol.
Yeah.
Right? Hathol's the first one down the mountain. Which means Darien makes a reach for the line. The line slips through his fingers. Hathol, you're free and clear now. You've fallen now 20 feet. What do you want to do?
Thunderstep, baby.
All right. Please cast Thunderstep in the chat.
You've been thunderstepped.
All right,
Holy
so here we
crap,
go,
that's a
chat.
lot of
I'm going to read
damage.
this one for you. There's a lot going on here.
Christ.
So
glad
you
we didn't get
teleport yourself to an unoccupied space you can see within range. And it has a, what was the range on it? 90 feet. Yeah. Immediately after you disappear, a thunderous boom sounds, and each creature within 10 feet of the space you left must make a Constitution saving throw, taking 3d10 thunder damage on a failed save, or half as much. The thunder can be heard for 300 feet. You bring along all the objects and stuff, and then there's some caveats in there where you can take someone with you if they're within range. So there is an absolutely deafening boom, and the entire wall shakes as Hathol disappears from sight. Hathol, where do you go? You have 90 feet. You are falling 20,
so
probably. You could probably make it to the ground.
Yeah. So you said it was a roughly 100-foot cliff. I fell 20. Yeah. So we'll just say I land on the ground. I appear on the ground.
So there's this entirely deafening boom. You see the thunder, like the thunder wave, come out from where Hathol disappears, and the rocks around are shaking, and some are falling. And you even notice, like Darien, because you're closest to this, some of the pittons that are like in the wall from where he was have shaken themselves out.
Huh.
So now those are missing. There's probably about 3 of them that have fallen out of the cliff face, and some larger cracks have begun to appear in the rock wall.
No.
It looks like an impact point, essentially, where Hathol was disappeared 20 feet below you, and then you look down, and 90 feet below you, Hathol is standing on the ground. You see that shock of red hair all the way down at the bottom.
I'm just gonna bellow up to the top. Do that with science, bitch!
Okay.
My lord,
I-
please don't.
I take out the dynamite.
Please don't.
Ignis. So we have
This is why
Darien
I
in the
made 3
second in here.
characters.
Who's after Darien? Who's after Darien on the lines here?
Probably me.
Okay, Miara. My biggest question here is how are we getting Valmiar down?
Oh,
Nobody thought about that one.
With science. It's
God.
called a fulcrum. I think. I honestly don't know.
Is it a fulcrum or is it a pulley?
Can his head stick out of the bag of holding?
Fulcrums work with levers. I don't think a lever's gonna get him down.
Can he ride
Val-
in the bag of holding? I'm 100% serious right now. Can he ride in the bag of holding with his head popping out?
I think
Balmiar-
it's possible. As long as he doesn't go all the way inside, he won't die.
Valmiar is a medium-sized creature and will not fit in the bag.
Okay.
He will not fit in the
Dang.
opening.
Wait,
Okay.
did we have to climb up something first and then climb down? Or
You
are we
have
just
been
climbing
up.
down? Okay, so we have
Yeah,
been
yeah, yeah.
up.
So
Now there's
the-
a
the-
flat surface down.
Yeah. So like you come out on the backside of the spine, right? Like you've been climbing up for a while, and like you've been making your way down some of this, and this is where Hathol like you watch as like the cart path diverges, and he's like, we're gonna take this path over here, and you walk down that path, and it leads to this cliff face because it saves you a day's worth of travel. Right.
Yeah.
So you're at the there's like this plateau, this flat area, and then there's there's about 100-foot drop that you guys are making your way down that Hathol had previously used on his way back. Now you're missing some pittons on the side of the wall, and Darien and at least Hathol have been on the wall. So if you guys are like trying to figure out something to do with the Panther and with Ignis or anything else, like if you guys are like, oh, we waited it out to see what would happen, or we're gonna try to lower Balmer or whatever,
Yeah.
like we can still say that you're at the top. The only 2 people that have acted currently are Darien and Hathol.
Right.
I was gonna say,
Could
we,
construct
tie
a
him and
rudimentary
pulley him down.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
You can try.
Are there like any slopes around like
No.
the edges of this? No, it just
No,
there's
this is a cliff face.
Okay.
Yeah, this is definitely a cliff face.
Okay, because I was gonna say if there are any slopes down, he could try to find his alternate path that way and make a dex check to see if he can make it down that way.
There are not slopes. If he was a mountain goat, maybe like the ones that you see that are like literally on the sides of like
Yeah,
mountains or whatever. But he's not that.
Yeah, no, I know.
So he's a little limited in that case.
Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna have to pulley him down. I think that's our best bet.
Yeah. So you want to like harness him up with some rope and drop him down.
Yeah. So I'll stay up at the top.
Are there
how many
any
of you have
trees
rope?
nearby?
At this edge, no.
Dang. All right.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah. This is like the crux of like. There's rocks and stuff, right? There's large boulders and things. This is like
Okay.
where the spine meets the waist, and it is almost like a desolation, right? Like it's becoming the wasteland. There's not a whole lot of greenery here.
I mean, I do have 50 feet of rope.
Yeah. So
I know
all have
you
room.
do. I think Darien does as well,
Yeah, I think I do too.
and then Miara does. I think Hathol did. He was on the wall already, or whatever. But no, he would have had at least 100 feet because of the cliff face. So there's 100 feet of rope that just was hanging there, like it was there already, and Darien is currently utilizing right to rappel himself downwards, and then like latch onto each of these pittons and stuff.
Mhm.
So you
Fine,
have
you're
rope
pulling.
there, and then you have 150 feet of total rope available to you.
Right.
After that,
Right.
So you have 250 total feet of rope, but Darien is currently using the one to get down.
Well,
That
we
makes
can
sense?
always tie up Balmiar and then just.
I also have another
lower
like
him.
48 feet.
Because
of rope.
my thing was that before Balmiar goes before myself and Ignis now, because he's the only one that hasn't actually said that he's down the cliff face yet, go down, he and I would try to lower Balmiar down which would incorporate a strength save. But because Ignis is there, it's at advantage because he's helping me.
Yep. You're more than welcome to try that. You have enough rope to make this work
I
if you
think
want to try to
that'll-
harness him
Yeah,
up.
I think that's
Alright.
probably the option.
Yeah. So what I need is athletics checks from someone with advantage.
Okay.
I
will
will
take it.
hand. Yeah, I'll hand Miara the rope and let her
Athletics at
take
advantage.
lead.
As long as Ignis is helping you, it's an advantage. So you've harnessed up Balmiar here, right? Like he's all, he's got a couple loops around him, and he looks very uncomfortable with the whole situation in hand. But
can I pop a shield of faith around him and then just like throw him down the cliff?
Oh God.
Shield like
You-
keeps him.
You could do it as a precaution. I'm
the
not
shield of faith increases his AC, right?
Yeah, it's not like the paladin bubble in World of Warcraft.
It's gonna be really hard for him to dodge the ground. So that's
But
He hits it so hard he bounces all the way back up the mountain.
even better though, if he does manage to dodge the ground, he can then fly.
All right.
Hitchhiker's
I'm
Guide
making
to the
this.
Galaxy
I'm making this.
reference.
Flying is-
What's happening?
I'm
yeah.
making this
Flying is
look-
just constantly dodging the ground, right? Like that's all it is.
He's a flying panther.
Yeah, so go ahead. So he's all harnessed up. You guys have
21.
You've got like the end of the rope around a rock, and you like slowly lower him down. So it takes some time, but over like the next 5 minutes, you're able to slowly lower him down. And Darien, like after this like wall crackingly shattering sound, this boom, right? And some of the rocks have been knocked loose and things like that. You just kind of watch as like Balmiar sullenly gets lowered past you down the rock wall, as like you also rappel down as well.
Well, hello. Friend.
Yeah, so both of you both make it down successfully. Did you guys already do dex checks for yourself?
Let's
What was it?
see. If the last dex check was mine, then yeah, I got a 10.
We did yeah, which is Dex, yeah.
Or acrobatics,
yeah.
whichever one was.
Yeah, that was where I got
So,
the
yeah.
one.
Mhm.
Sure was.
Yep.
So 10 MER, you have a 16. Okay. Yeah. So both of you are able to make it down. Like after Balmiar gets to the bottom, Hathol, do you like untie the panther from the ropes?
Yes, but nervously.
Yeah, a little cautiously, right? Well, so you have to remember, imagine this. I don't know like what Hathol's relationship is with Balmiar right now, but you have spent at least 2 days traveling together too, right?
Sure,
so
yeah.
like, hopefully you've got a little bit of some of the like pre-travel jitters out of the way here.
Yeah,
but...
well, I'll just be like, I know we didn't talk much, but hold still.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
So as you like let go of the ropes or whatever, Darien kind of like plops down beside you. You hear the jingle of his chainmail, and as his like shield kind of clatters against some of his armor and belongings.
Yeah,
Just-
I am
So you guys have both reached the
immediately-
bottom.
I just sideways glance him and say, "What up, Butterfingers?"
I am so sorry, but that was incredible. Are you okay?
Never been better.
Can
Look
you
at this
teach
guy
me
trying to be
that?
cool
because
guy.
that was
Can I retrospectively add some detail into what happened when I cast Thunderstep?
Yeah, please.
As I was falling, I opened the book, and then I went inside it, and then it exploded.
And then it like singularities on itself, right?
yeah.
And then
Yeah.
yeah. And then you like
it gets to the
his
ground,
appearance.
it flips open on the ground, and I just pop out like a pop-up book.
yeah.
It's like a Mario
Ta-da!
Like you watch him like swirl out of the book down on the ground. Obviously with some of the black smoke, right? Like the
black smoke
shockwave
is everywhere. Yeah.
the smoke is like encased this like the shockwave, right? So it like blows outwards. Oh yeah, for sure. You disappear into the book, and there's like that giant shockwave, and so loud, so loud.
Nice.
And it's very similar to, because he used shatter previously while in the mountains. It's very similar to that sound, just a little bit visually different. And yeah, and then he ends up on the ground, appearing out of the book, and then unties Balmiar as he makes his way down there. And then yeah, Darien, you've landed next to him, and there you are. So yeah, so we have the next two. You guys have made your dex checks already. So you guys like tie
Pull
up.
up the rope.
Yeah, you tie yourselves up here so you can rappel yourselves down. And yeah, so you do so. The rolls you only had to beat a 10 to do this successfully. So congratulations, you met the AC, Ignis, or the
Hooray.
DC. So there you go, you've done it. And so yeah, like you've made it down like kind of this larger cliff face, right? And from here, there's a pathway that like slopes downwards pretty severely, but like cuts back and forth until basically it reaches the bottom of this cliff, right? This like this backside of these mountains, and you'd be officially in the waste. So, unless there's anything that you guys would like to do prior to basically taking your first steps out into it, that's what happens.
Well, Hathol, lead on.
Yeah. So Hathol, you know the way. But like we talked about earlier, the desert is restless. And so it does take some, the direction, right? Like, and you understand how the sun works. You understand, traveling by stars and things like that. It makes sense to you, and you know what you're doing. You've only been it's only been 2 days since then, and from your reckoning, there's probably not been too much disturbance now that you could start going back the way that you came pretty readily, right? So yeah, you can do so. So you guys like take your first steps out onto what is like this craggy, rocky waste, and what's the marching order currently?
I guess it needs to be Hathol still in front.
Yeah. So, but like I'm asking, like, is someone else deciding to walk next to Hathol, or is Hathol strictly leading? That kind of thing.
I'd probably be behind him.
Yeah, I'll be with Ignas behind him.
I'll probably keep up front with Hathol with Balmiar next to me.
Okay, so the same that you were keeping in the mountains. Perfect. Yeah. So I think at this point, Hathol, this is where you're trying to make good on being able to do these things. This is not necessarily to see like if you remember or you know what you're doing. This is about time. So I'm gonna need you to make I think here is gonna be a survival check to see if you can remember the way that you had come well enough that you pursue it quickly.
Okay. Jesus Christ.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. While we're doing this, right after seeing this, I definitely want to mention this. Can I be like making a map or making a rough map of our path that we can maybe refer back to later?
In the desert or like through the mountains that you already took?
The desert.
No, I'm just gonna I'll notice him attempting to make this map and just say, you're wasting your time. The next sandstorm will be along soon, and this path will change drastically.
Still want to try. I can maybe make adjustments based on how it changes. Because if I can make adjustments based on how it changes on the way back, then maybe I can make it perhaps predict forward how the sandstorms will change the area.
Science.
I'm hoping
bullshit, but also
so
the weatherman.
I mean, you can certainly try. You can try to make a map of this.
Sure.
I'm not necessarily sure how much ink and parchment you have. These are physical objects, right? Like that you carry. You've had enough to like do letters and things, but I'm not sure what you're trying to accomplish here. Are you doing this while you're moving? Because I don't know if you have somewhere to like write on while you're moving, or is this something you're gonna try to do at night?
Probably do this at night when we're not moving, and just try and do my best to remember during the day the general path we took from a given starting point.
Sure. So this is a good a place as any for us to do this. So Hathol is attempting to remember the way, right? Everyone else, please make perception checks.
Are we gonna perceive that he actually doesn't remember dick all?
Darien saw a butterfly.
It's so here's the thing, and you guys kind of like notice different levels of this. Darien, you still notice what I'm going to say first here. You don't see the end of the waste. You have gone to the other side, and what you see to your left and what you see to your right is eventually you see sometimes peaking sand dunes, some of them relatively large, but you're not necessarily sure at the distance, so you're not sure how big they are. You see it broken up by craggy, like dry bedrock, and sometimes you see like maybe what looks like could have been a tree at some point in time. And then like all the way down to your left, like if you look, you can see where the spine like hits the wasteland. And it seems to be this like really oddly, it doesn't come sloping down like it does on the southern side, like through the hills, right down towards through the silver pines and things like that. It's a very hilly area. Here, it's like this stark contrast of these are mountains, these are cliffs, and this is just flat wasteland, and then eventually it moves up into like these sand dunes. It seems it's a really odd, unnatural is the best way I could say it. It doesn't look like. From those of you that know things about nature, and with the roles for the perceptions here, like Miara and Ignis would pick up on this, like the way that this is constructed does not look natural. It doesn't look like how mountains generally taper downwards, right? Like it seems very sheer, and then ends up in this wasteland. So what Ignis and Miara pick out that Darien doesn't necessarily pick out right away is that. These winter cloaks that we have on, oh man, it's gotten real warm. Maybe we should probably take these off.
Yup.
And
Darien's
you're starting to
like strip, yeah.
Yeah, you're quickly noticing that like sweat is beading on your forehead and starting to drip down. And having exerted yourself on the cliff faces before too, like, okay, it's warm here.
Sweaty.
Yeah, you're beginning to sweat, Darien. And Hathol, you're more used to this, but like under your half plate and your robes, like this is not good stuff to be like going through a desert on. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And the chainmail that Darien wears, it gets really warm. You notice, Miara, that Balmir begins panting quite a bit, like heaving a little bit in the tightness of his breastplate there. Yep. As you guys start making your way through the waste, right? So you're all taking this in like over the next hour, right? Like as you make your way through the waste here, and
I'm gonna take off my winter cloak
Hathol
and
is
put it in
attempting
the bag.
and Hathol's attempting to lead you.
Yeah.
So what was that, Hathol?
So I'm obviously aware at this point that I cannot remember the way efficiently through this place.
So the reason for these checks is not necessarily that your character doesn't your character thinks you might think that you're actually doing the correct thing.
Yeah.
It's not like when you make a perception check and you fail it or something like that. It's not that like, oh, your character knows they failed. It's they just didn't catch it, right?
Yeah. I'm basing this on the survival check.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. You don't necessarily know that you are going maybe the incorrect way or a slower way or something like that. You don't necessarily know that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like Hathol thinks this is right.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
You know? And so
right.
the reason we do those kinds of things is so like your character can't be like, oh, looks like I forgot the way. Someone else make a survival check so they can find the way. You know, like that.
No. I was just
you
thinking.
You hold that confidence.
I was thinking if I was unsure of the way, but perhaps the terrain looks slightly different from previous, then I would attempt to communicate with Drovani to try and get
supplement your check then. Let's supplement your check with a perception. Let's see if you notice if it's different.
Okay. It's here somewhere.
16. Yeah, as like so you've been traveling for about an hour now. That's about the amount of time it would take for you to be like, "Oh, okay. This looks a little different than when I came back a couple days ago."
Yeah.
I might need to course correct here.
Yeah. So here's a little technical question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Being so inexperienced at these things, using that thunder step to save myself back there still used it up as one of my spell slots.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm aware right now that I might not 100% know the way, but you know, I've got a save face here. I don't want to just outrightly admit this. So I'd like to recommend to the group that we take a short rest. During which I'm going to recover my spell slot and try and communicate with Giovanni to get some guidance here.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, you're more than welcome to communicate that with the group. Go ahead. Do it in character for me.
My friends, I feel we must take a short rest. This heat is taking its toll on me.
Is it? I'd like to see if he's lying.
Insight check. Again, the DC is based on him. So, well, you're deceiving him, right?
Yeah, so he'd have to make a deception against.
Yeah, make a deception, Hathol. You set the DC here.
Does he get through?
That's it. Insight's good.
Ooh! With
So-
a bonus of 6.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
modifier of 6. Can I get some new dice, please, someone?
Welcome to the group.
Click normal at the top of your sheet, and maybe it'll help.
FML.
Instead
So Ignis, when he says that, you kind of give him a side eye, and something seems off.
That little stunt on the mountain, it didn't take that much out of you, did it?
Perhaps more than I would have wished it to have taken out of me.
Uh-huh. We are on the right path, are we not?
All paths are the right path.
Don't get us
What
lost.
an answer.
The heat stroke sets in.
Ignis would just, stink eye him a little bit and just say,
Yeah.
just don't get us lost. Oh, all right.
Is anybody else hot?
Yeah, it's like an hour in, and he's like, huh.
Yes.
Weird.
Darien.
So you guys you agree with taking the rest here?
Yeah.
You wanna try to take a
short
rest?
The armor off Balmiar a little bit, or adjust it to help
Can
cool him off.
Can I take at least my cloak off so that or am I really that stupid?
No,
Darian, aren't
you
hot
know.
there, buddy?
You know. The perception for you was like you were taken by the vastness of this thing,
yeah.
right? Like you're like, you've never seen it. None of you have, except for Hathol, right? Like this is an entirely new experience for all of you here. So you were kind of taken aback by that, but it doesn't necessarily mean that like, oh, you totally ignored for the next hour that you're sweating your ass off. No,
Just
you're
drops to the ground,
uncomfortable.
passes out.
Yeah, you're not. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, you definitely know, and you take off the cloak and whatever, and whatever you guys do. If you want to like, maybe Ignis offers to like put it in the bag of holding or
Oh
something.
yeah, sure. I'm definitely the coat check guy.
Yeah, for sure.
The Duke of Coat checks.
Did everybody
Duke
remember their
of
ticket?
coat check.
Yeah. Don't
The
lose
bag
the
of
ticket.
coating.
Dry cleaning.
Yeah. So you guys, I guess, do you try to like scope out like a nice place to rest, or you just kind of be like,
Is there anywhere
well,
with shade?
here's some ground, and then sit there? Like I don't know what
Yeah,
the
is
plan
there
is.
any shade nearby that we could sit in?
Make a perception check. Whoever would like to look for some shade.
Hey.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
try and figure out a way we can science some shade out of this bitch.
I'm gonna take a
Go
look
for it.
too.
I'm just gonna try and get a roll that's been better than anything I've had so far.
There
Hey!
you go. There you go.
Darien and Hathol. I don't know what. Maybe Ignis and Miera. Maybe they just aren't. Maybe the heat's getting to them.
Yeah.
Like they see the heat waves or whatever, and it's really playing with their eyesight a little bit.
Staring at Hathol.
Darien and Hathol. Yeah, no, there is no shade in the immediate vicinity.
We perceive there is nothing.
Is
All right.
nothing.
Well,
It is right now. You're on like a very a kind of you've been walking for about an hour. You see the dunes ahead of you, right where they rise out of like the earth here. But the part you're in right now is like it's that shot that you get of like what is it, like the Arizona desert where it's got that like dry, caked, cracked ground look.
Mhm.
It's a lot of that, and there's some like rocks and stuff strewn around. There's like maybe a large boulder or something like that, but it's definitely not enough for like everyone to hide behind and get out of the sun. No, the sun is beating down on you here. The thing is, you're also coming to kind of the end of. It's mid-afternoon now, right? Like you guys have probably been traveling a lot through the day out of the mountains and something like that. So like the sun is up, it's hot, and it's probably the hottest part of the day right now.
Yeah.
let's not spend too much time here.
Can we take turns getting in the bag of colding? The cool down?
If only you had one.
Just like dip our feet in there.
If
But
only.
actually, since we are taking a short rest, I will take the opportunity to identify the greatsword.
I mean, you've had 2 days to do that.
I
would
know,
just say
but
that you've
still, I forgot
probably
I have.
done that over the last
Ignis
2
has
days.
been
Yeah.
procrastinating.
Yeah, probably. It sounds like it. Yeah. So you take the time over the last 2 days. We'll say you've done it. It's a nice sword. It seems to be very similar to the battle axe in that it's like a dwarven made ripoff. You know what I mean? It's missing some of the distinctions of like that you notice from like Darien's Warhammer. You know that Darien's Warhammer is like it's magical in nature, but the craftsmanship of it is very dwarven. So you're thinking that this might be like an orcish made knockoff, for lack of a better term.
All right, but it has no magical properties.
Not that you can tell.
Okay. I just have it marked down as greatsword.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And so you guys you just take that short rest.
So
and,
I want to like actively communicate with Druvani to try and
you
basically to try and make up for the crappy survival roll I made.
Yeah, you're looking for some kind of guidance. You're like,
yeah. Directions, please.
Already messed this up.
Yeah.
Oh, this isn't good with my new friends.
Yep.
So yeah, you can definitely try to make that happen. It's gonna be a religion check for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's a like advantage or disadvantage or anything like that, but it is definitely gonna be a religion check. And go ahead and roll for me here. See what you get.
I'm so nervous to roll anything right now. It's been such a horrific night.
Welcome to the party.
Yeah, cool.
Hathol becomes a demigod.
No, I think it's
wings.
Hathol's understanding of Druvani for himself comes into distinct play here, I think. Hathol, you take the time and like the sun is like beating down on your face, but you enter that trance that you do when you open the book and the smoke kind of pours out, and to you the smoke feels cool, right? It's almost as thick as like a water vapor, right? And so it feels, because it suffuses with this magical energy that you're already you wanted to replenish anyways, so it feels cool to you, and so you are open to it, and you begin your ritual to essentially what you do as a prayer to Druvani. What do you do to reach out? What gets her attention?
So it's kind of like what I was doing before, but rather than just like random mumblings, now I'm explicitly like trying to converse. So like explicitly asking Mistress Druvani, hear me, guide me. Show me the way, lead me back to Adis.
Okay. Yeah, so you do that, and for like some time you like you make this claim, this prayer, this request, and you eventually feel this like pull from like beneath your half plate, right? Like it's in there. And you feel a tug in a certain direction. You feel it towards the east and north, and it's pulling you, and it feels incessant. It's obviously not like physically moving you, but you feel it like driving you in a certain direction.
Can we add some visuals to this? The black smoke is now coming out of the book in a thin trail, like a string leading me.
You don't get the like the scout fly
arrow.
trail. All right, you don't get your scout flies. All right, but you do have like an internal thing. So like the smoke suffuses you, right, and like it coalesces like around your chest area, and you feel it like pull you in a direction, and then it relaxes after a time, but like you can feel it, and to you. You know that this is Druvani wanting you to get back to Adis, needing you to get back there.
Yep.
And so you now feel like you have the ability to find your way there. Okay. Is there anything else you guys want to do for your short rest here?
I wanted to give Balmiar some water to help cool him down, and I think I'm gonna remove it for his armor for the day, but then still train with it at night when it cools down.
Sure, right? Yeah, okay. So what do you do with the armor?
Ask Ignis to hold it in the bag of holding for me.
Ignis, do you let that happen?
Sure.
Yeah, so you're able to take off the armor there for Balmiar. He nuzzles you appreciatively. For sure, and yeah, you're able to take it off of him. What was that? Sorry, did I miss one?
Just say cool, confirming.
Okay, cool. Sorry, I'm moving a thing. Okay, so yeah, you're able to take your short rest. You feel the pull of Druvani now. You feel like you've got your way, right, that you need to be going.
Yep.
Now, Hathol. Is there anything else that you guys want to do while you're hanging out for a short rest? It's about an hour long, right? So like it takes some time. Those of you, because you guys have taken long rests, those of you that have any hit points missing or whatever, go ahead and max those. You also had 2 days of not using your hit die. Go ahead and max those. Just this is housekeeping stuff, right?
Yeah.
You were good on food, so you had those. So this becomes an interesting thing, right? Like water is a limited commodity here, as far as you can tell, and you've been now wandering. You've been walking in the desert with some purpose, to try and locate where you need to go. So water consumption, I think it comes down to you need a gallon of water a day is kind of like the how that works, right?
Per person or
Per person per day,
God.
I think is the requirement.
Is it 8 cups of water a
It's
day?
that's the recommended. Well, no. Like for like that's in the real world, and I'm gonna find the actual how they do this one here. A character needs 1 gallon of water per day, or 2 per day if the weather is hot. A character who drinks only half that much water must succeed on a DC's 15 con save or suffer exhaustion.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah, a character with access to even less water automatically suffers 1 level of exhaustion.
I need to reach level 6. ASAP.
I did I not think to bring a whole bunch of water? Oh yeah, because I didn't know we'd be going to the wastes.
Well, yeah.
I asked for water at the Orc Kingdom.
Could have.
Well, how much water did we collect during my gather at?
Well, you have enough. You've had enough to fill your water skin, right? Like that's what you have.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm reading through the containers here real quick. Water skin has 4 pints of liquid.
Yikes.
Yeah.
So we don't have anywhere near enough.
Party wipe. Ayo.
Yeah. So 4 pints. It's 4 quarts to a gallon, 8 pints to a gallon. So you have each half a gallon of water on you.
Mm-hmm.
This does not include any water necessary for like Balmiar. In this case, I'm going to say that like Miara, you carry 2 water skins because you know you have to take care of Balmiar.
Yeah.
This is not something that you would mess around with.
Cool.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
So
So
much
this
water
might
can we
be-
fit in the bag of holding?
bag of holding cannot hold water. I don't think. That's.
It's got to be a bag of watering.
Well, there are things like that. There's like endless jugs of water and
Yeah,
stuff.
there's a
but,
decanter of endless water, which I can make at level 9.
Like, yeah, level 9.
Oh,
Yeah.
good.
Yeah,
At
so a
level
person needs
6, I
1
can
gallon per
bring
day, or if it's
the-
hot.
Natural explore.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm reading. Welcome, Irony. But if the ranger did not know that the need for water, a ranger would lack the skill to harvest water in desert terrain. This ranger has also never been to a desert, so this is one of those things that like the ranger has never had the experience before to even know what to do. But this is something that Hathol has traveled before. So Hathol, basically, the party is going to end up in an issue here with what to do about water.
Mm-hmm.
So Hathol being experienced in the desert, I think would probably also carry like two water skins himself, right? Like a full gallon's worth, and
Oh, for sure.
maybe deal with the lack of water per day or something like that. But you'd also know where to stop to get water or how to do that, as long as you're going in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's just something for you guys to start thinking about.
Would we be able to roll for survival checks to check to see if there was water around?
You can certainly try.
Okay. But I would have to make it a disadvantage because it's an area I've never been before, or a terrain I've never been in before. Right?
I wouldn't say it's a disadvantage. I'd say you'd make a survival check, and then we'd see what happened.
Okay.
Right? So you're more than welcome to try if that comes to be the case.
Okay.
So over this day, the total amount of water you have 2 water skins, Miara, you have 2 water skins, Hathol, Darien has 1, and Ignas has 1. So however you guys decide to do that, this is half the amount of water that you need per day. Okay? So this is actually a quarter of the amount of water you need per day because it's hot. So what it comes down to is that with less water, you will be suffering points of exhaustion at the end of the day. Right?
We might then need to find a way to bunk down for the day and travel at night, which is typically what they recommend in the desert.
It's also colder in the desert too, so we have at least our stuff to wrap up.
Yeah, I mean, we got the winter cloaks and all.
Desert nights are cold.
They're very cold. That means we have to find a shelter of some sort during the day so we don't suffer heat exhaustion while sleeping.
I mean, deserts have, and Hathol would surely know that, deserts have primitive plant life that often holds water.
Yeah.
Yes, some of them, and that's something that might be available to you if you can find them.
If I can find them,
oasis like areas too, because they're usually springs of water.
Yeah. So Hathol, you know about some of the indigenous plant life forms that would have like not enough water to fill like a water skin, but like enough to keep you alive.
Mm-hmm.
You also know that there are some oases between here and Addis. Some of them are spread out. You know this because how else do trade caravans get around? They can't always carry enough water for all of these things.
Yep.
You also know that there are like underwater cisterns, but you also know that most of these things are inhabited by one thing or another because they are a highly precious commodity, right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Oh boy. Well, where should we stop for the night or day, as it may be?
Yeah, so you guys I guess you probably discussed this during your short rest here.
Mm.
We need to get more water.
I
Or
agree.
if nothing else, we need to get a very large container and then put it in the bag of holding for storage.
Yeah.
I am aware of the existence of several oases, but these can be quite dangerous places in the desert.
Well, choices between slow death of thirst or possible death at the end of a blade. I'll take the second one.
I choose death at an end of a blade.
Blade and or teeth, I might add.
Whatever. I've been bitten before.
Not by some of these desert dwellers you haven't.
No, by bigger things.
Okay. We
Actually,
shall
I'm
wait.
stabbed.
We
I've been
shall wait and
stabbed.
see.
Darien, what do you think?
Well, how do you usually travel, Hathol?
As quickly and as direct a straight line as I possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so Hathol, you've made this trip before, and generally you kind of know the where to stop and whatever, but like, it's up to you how you feel like Hathol would have done this. I don't want to tell you like what the best way is or whatever it is.
The thing is, Hathol's starting to realize how much and how often he's been sustained by Dravani as he travels the desert.
Yep.
Realizing that for non-believers and worshippers of other aspects, this journey's going to be much tougher for them, and he hadn't really thought about this before.
Yep.
So,
neato.
So the
Yeah.
direct route to Adis is probably not going to go well. We're probably going to have to meander through the desert from oasis to oasis, hopping from water source to water source to get us there.
Yeah.
without dying of thirst.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the current thing that you've done, right? Your excellent communal with your aspect, right? Hathol has given you what you asked for, the direct line back to Adis.
Yeah, because she cares about me. She doesn't really care about the others. That's the issue.
No, she does. As far as you know, she doesn't give a shit. So yeah, she needs you back there.
Yeah.
So yeah. So how do you want to handle this? You know of a couple of them, Hathol, but like I said before, the desert is expansive.
Yeah.
And there are places even in your last 2 years that you would never have gone to or needed to, right?
Yeah.
Because you're supplemented by something more.
So I'm kind of working on faith right now that if I ignore the pulling that I'm sensing to take me towards Adis in a direct line and sort of head off on a tangent towards where I have a not a guarantee, but I'm fairly sure there's water, that the sense of direction towards Adis will still stay with me. That Giovanni will figure out that I'm still going there, but through a slightly less direct direction.
Sure, right. It's a god. She's a god. This is not lost on.
She can sense the
divine being.
Yeah, that we are mere mortals and we need to sometimes take other routes.
So this is what I want to know about Hathol. And would Hathol have traveled at any point in time with any of the caravans that might have come through the desert?
No.
Trade caravans or anything like that. No.
So Hathol, at his time in the Waste, has been spent exclusively with hobgoblin tribes and by himself.
Okay. Okay. So how is Hathol going to be the one that tries to figure out where these the sources are, or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've been to them previously.
You've been to a couple of them, yes. Yeah. But like for you, it's like you're down in the desert. Like, well, I can go about 2 or 3 days here before I need to do anything else.
Yeah.
But that doesn't necessarily translate super well for the rest of your group, right?
Yeah. I'm aware that the need for water is the priority, not necessarily for myself, but for the others.
Sure. So yeah, you can. I mean, you can try. That's the best I can give you, right? Because it's not necessarily like if you let's say you would travel like maybe with these caravans or something before, you might know some of the wasteland caravan travel routes that would contain some form of like water places or something like that, right? But because you've done this solo so many times, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. But you do like you've talked to the Hobgoblin tribes and they know of some of them, and you know what? Let's see if you remember. How about that?
Not this old chestnut again.
Yeah, let's see if you remember. Can you give me a flat intelligence check?
But I'm a dumb. What?
Hang on.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Oh, 19. Okay, that's fine. I was gonna try to. I didn't want to, because it's not something I wanted to punish you for, right? I wanted to see like what does Hathol know. So I was gonna switch it to wisdom because it might be like a wisdom of the desert type thing. But the intelligence check works for your memory, right? You remember having conversations with some of these hobgoblin tribes that are like, yeah. So if you go this way, this far, find this marker here, and then go this way, you'll probably find one of the oases in a day or two.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So that's what you would know. So like Ignis brings up the fact like, hey, we're gonna need water, and you're like, that's right. These people need water.
These people need water.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
What do you
Dang
mean
it.
by these people?
Yeah.
I internalized that. I didn't say out loud.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
Well, I'm fairly certain I know of the closest water source, so we'll head there first.
Right, lead on.
And off we go.
And off you go. And I'm assuming you guys kind of keep the same walking order. You know, Hathol, Miera next to each other, Ignis, Darien, and then Balmir bringing up the rear.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you travel in the heat until nighttime. Are you guys rationing water, or do you drink it all today?
I think ration until we know we're actually going to get to water.
Yeah, I think that's actually the play.
Okay. So the interesting way that like exhaustion and stuff works, so what's going to happen is you're going to end up exhausted at the end of the day, right? That's just a thing that's going to happen because you don't have water. Now I'm missing where my water thing is. So yeah, what do you do you try to find a place to rest, right? Like the moon is coming high up into the sky. Do you stop to rest, or do you push through the night? It has gotten cooler. The heat of the sand and the rock is still hot, but the air around you is quickly cooling.
So is there some way we can these guys can rest, but I can walk on through the cool night and bring back water, seeing as I don't sleep?
That would generally be a bad idea, assuming that there are nasty things at the watering hole.
But I've done this
You can-
many times before.
Yeah,
You
he's
can-
done it
you
before.
can
At least things that were
certain-
that would be familiar.
Hey, I mean, I say it way too much, but you can definitely try.
I mean, put it this way. If there are dangerous things that don't want you to have water, then if they decide to get physical, your options are basically run back to us or get swarmed, because we won't be anywhere near you to help out.
Yeah. So I mean, trust me, I've done this before, and I don't engage. I don't fight with these creatures at the watering holes, at the
Okay.
oases. You know.
About how far out would you say the oasis would be from where we would plan to rest?
2 days.
Oh wow. So I can't even make it in a night
No,
anyway.
you wouldn't make it in a night.
Pointless. Yeah.
This
If
first
it-
this first
well,
night it wouldn't. Yeah, the first night it wouldn't matter.
Okay.
Um,
That's fine.
Oh boy.
as far as you know, right? Like it just wouldn't matter.
Just need to figure out to
Um,
ration our water to.
Right. So like at this point, I'm thinking it's like you probably are doing like 2 pints or like a pint. Like it's not looking good for you guys.
No,
At
We're
least in
gonna
this case.
die.
not at first. No.
So yeah. Okay.
Darien shaking his head.
Welcome to the desert, boys.
We're all
It's gonna be a great
fucking
time.
die.
Is it too late to
It's gonna be a
turn
good
back
time.
and go back to get?
Yes.
I-
At this
You're
point,
more
yes.
than welcome to do that too. I lost where water was, and now I'm trying to re-find
So
it.
did
and
we,
it's just
apparently.
not- Hey.
Hey.
No, water whip. That's what I found. Water whip.
Yeah.
That is not what I needed there.
Whip it into my mouth immediately.
Son of
regretting
a-
that.
At this
Whip
point,
it into my mouth, yeah.
point, we need to start planning to start drinking our piss. Just saying.
What piss? You're not drinking enough
I'm way
water,
ahead of
no
you.
piss.
So yeah, here's the opportunity for you guys to like attempt to do so. Like it's nighttime or whatever, like, or it's becoming close to night. Do you like try to take some time to maybe find some indigenous life that might have water, or do you like
Sure.
I think I would during my time of, because I only need 4 hours for my trance. With
In
trance
fact, I would
to
probably
rest.
ask Hathol, hey, show me the things that give us the life water.
show me the things?
Yeah, like what
Well,
would give
yeah.
us life, and then
starts
gotta-
to unbutton his trousers.
I'm not falling for that again.
Oh
whoa.
whoa. Yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things. Like, well, you got to find the things first, and then he can show you what they are, right? I don't think Hathol keeps a book of
Well, all right.
Desert
yeah.
stuff.
of like desert things.
I got something. Okay. While the others rest because I do not need as much rest as the remainder of our party. I only need about 4 hours. Before I take my 4 hours, you and I should go look to see if we could find any vegetation or even small springs of water to bring back to the group.
Mm-hmm.
I think between the two of us, we might be able to find something.
Agreed.
And then in technical terms, a survival check at advantage.
Who has 2 thumbs and
Um,
terrible survival rolls.
Trying to. How did I already lose where that is? Someone in chat, help me. Where the heck are the stupid water rules that I just had in front of me, and I should have. They're
Oh
just
my
gone.
goodness.
They're just gone now.
GG water rules.
Water rules gone. Yeah. So you guys can try. So in this time, are Darien and Ignis sleeping, or?
Darien's tuckered.
I think I just take watch while Darien sleeps and they go off and find water.
Yeah.
Okay. Whoa. Hang on.
And wow.
We lost it, and he's back. Welcome
Yay.
back. I think.
Is he
What
frozen?
the fuck?
No, he's back. Okay,
That
he's
was
back.
so weird.
You just died for a minute and then.
Yeah. I don't know how that happened.
Is everything okay?
I think.
Is he even aware that he went?
I
I don't think he can hear us.
No, I hear you. No,
The
I
void
hear
swallowed
you.
me whole.
Where was I? That was just really weird. My entire Discord went black.
Wow. Okay.
I
Yeah. Welcome back.
So I'm ready to make a survival check at advantage if this is what we're gonna do.
I think.
Unless you have
you
a
can-
better survival modifier than I do. I have 4 to my survival.
Yeah, you're better.
You're better.
Did you see my previous survival roll?
I did
It was questionable. Resting. Thank God.
Cool.
All right.
Well,
Where the heck
we
is
can roll for the Constitution check and hopefully beat it.
That's why we're looking to see if we can find water at night. Like,
Yeah.
if we can find fruits that have water or vegetation has water at night.
And I do want to bring
We'll
this
find
up. Rob, you did say that you had to go at like 3 or 3:15.
Yeah, like.
Oh yeah. I mean, we're in good shape right now. We're okay.
Okay.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks for that, guys.
Mhm.
Yeah, thank you, Karma. I just found it again. For those of you that want to know, it's page 185 of your player handbook. Yeah, it's pretty good. So if you guys want to do the survival roll,
All right. Cool. I'll do
it has become the end of the day. It's cooler now, so yeah, you're gonna attempt to make the survival check. I was gonna say before you do this,
Never mind.
it is nighttime. It is dark. This will be just a straight roll.
Okay.
Because you
11.
have help, so it's an 11. I think in this case, what you find is like a small. It seems to be like a small piece of like plant life coming out of like the crags in the ground. It's definitely not large. But Hathol, you recognize this as something that like you've seen the hobgoblins take and chew. But I don't know, would you have ever like wanted to try something that they would have done, or would you just like take a note of it?
Just observed. Just I paid attention,
Okay.
but
Yeah,
not,
so you've
not
seen the
partaken
hobgoblins.
myself.
Yeah, you've seen the hobgoblins chew on whatever this plant is coming out of the ground. It's rather small. It's maybe like the size of just like your hand.
Okay.
And it seems to be rooted in a crack.
Okay. Can I like inspect this thing closer to like because I wouldn't I've seen hobgoblins like chewing it, but I don't necessarily know why they were chewing it.
Sure, make a nature check for me.
Oh my gosh, what's one of those?
Right?
God!
Oh my God.
You can't piece it together.
I just want to
Eats it
retire.
whole.
Good news. It's a suppository.
So you get closer
Oh,
to
no.
it and you look down at it.
Oh,
You're not
sake.
super sure, but they seem to chew it before like expecting a battle or something.
okay. Well, I'll just discuss this with Miara. That I've seen the hobgoblins chewing this. I don't know. It seems to energize, revitalize in some way, but I'm not really sure.
I'm gonna definitely take a look at it myself to see if I can see if it looks familiar to any plant life that I would know that has that would have similar properties.
Make a nature roll for me.
Cool. Just a straight one.
A crit fail.
These 11s.
No, it kind of looks like a weed from back home, but you're not sure. This is the desert. Who knows what survives out here?
Well, you say that the hobgoblins use this regardless. To me, it doesn't look like anything special, but anything is worth a try at this point. We need water, without a doubt.
Yeah, so I'll tentatively give it a little nibble.
So you pluck it out of the ground and
Yeah.
Yeah, so would you pull off like a couple leaves or something like that and
Yeah,
start
yeah,
chewing
yeah.
on it? Yeah, I mean, like, you start chewing on it. Do you just continue to? It seems to it brings saliva to your mouth. You're not necessarily sure if there's a lot of there's water in it. It becomes pulpy. you continue to chew on it? Do you eat it, or you just?
If I'm not sensing that it's doing anything, then possibly not. Here, Miara, you try.
All right, and I'll. He
Put it up
did it
your
first,
ass.
so he definitely is like at least trying. I'll wait a minute to see if anything bad happens.
If he
first.
drops dead on the spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait a second, see if he like feels ill at all.
So did you are you still chewing on it, or did you spit it out?
No, I'll chew for a couple of minutes at least.
A couple minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. As you chew and like time passes a little bit, you feel more alert. You feel like your eyes, like your pupils dilate a little bit. You feel a little bit more alert, and you feel a little jittery.
Ooh.
You feel like you have an abundance of energy that you need to expel in some way.
I have a feeling Ignas would love this stuff.
I
I'm gonna
will
take a
invent
bite
the espresso.
And I'm gonna take some and chew myself to see if I understand what he means by that.
Yeah.
Because I'm worried.
So you chew on. You probably take about like the same amount
About
of leaves
the
or
same,
something like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
and chew on it, and you don't notice anything. Don't notice anything.
No.
And
Still
then
go.
all of a sudden, like your dark vision becomes clearer, right?
Oh,
like
wow.
you're like, whoa,
Hey, I have
Okay.
that too.
yeah.
I
And
can
then like
see
you
forever.
you're like you feel good. You feel a little jittery, like you have excess energy, but you feel more alert.
Oh no.
We might
It's
be able to push
literally
a little
hot.
further if we give the party this. But I
Yeah, so
understand what you
maybe-
mean. That Ignis will like this.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that, although this might not be hydrating us, this might help us with those Constitution saves.
Oh boy.
Pick as much as you can.
Yeah, so it's not much. I mean, it's like maybe a handful. You probably have maybe 2 or 3 more doses of this, whatever it is. Functionally, this makes you more alert. You will have advantage on perception check.
Well, that's the greatest thing ever then.
Let's see if we can find anything
Th-
else.
This cancels your disadvantage, like while it's nighttime, but like if you take it like during the daytime or something like that, it makes your perception checks
Right.
enhanced.
Okay.
Well,
Do we still have the disadvantage at nighttime with dark vision?
yeah. Unless
Okay.
we have a torch lit.
Okay.
Yeah. So how long did this take? I guess during, because we're at night and they're sleeping right now, and I still need to take 4 hours of a rest.
I mean, as from what you rolled and like checking the area and stuff like that, I mean, probably an hour and a half or so. Like you searched, depending like as far out as you went. Maybe if you were just circling the camp or something like that, yeah, at least an hour and a half.
Okay. Could we spend the remainder of at least the time I'm awake to see if we can find more of this, and maybe see if we can find anything else? See if we could perceive anything that might have some satisfactory results, or would that still be encompassed with the survival check that we made?
That survival check, this is what you found.
Okay.
If you want to go further out from the camp, you're more than welcome to.
I think a little further, yeah. As long as I can get back so that I can have my 4 hours, I'll be.
Right.
Yeah.
Hathol, do you go with
Yeah.
Miara?
We need to stick together at this point.
Yeah. So Darien and Ignis. So Ignis, you're coming to the close of what would be your watch, right? Sorry, Ignis went first, right?
Yes.
And then, so do you wake Darien up for his?
Yeah, at the end of mine.
Yeah, sure. Okay. And then, so Darien, you get up
Mm.
and you do the thing. I forgot to do this for Ignis, but it doesn't much matter. Darien, give me a perception check that will persist for your 12. Okay, cool. I'm assuming you're wearing your goggles. while
Hell
you're
yeah, man.
on watch. Great. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys go further outwards and attempt to see more stuff, right? Let's see if you see anything. You have these currently heightened senses, right?
Mhm.
Let's see if you see anything
And we're working
as you
together
move
on
further
it, so-
outwards.
Is that would be added?
Yeah, it's actually at advantage because you are currently standard with the having taken the
thing,
lead,
and
right?
together
Like whatever
now
this
we're
is.
advantage. Okay, cool.
Mhm.
What's your I'm assuming it's probably the same, so I'm gonna take the perception check as well. 12. Lol.
12. I think this, like, the excess amount of energy is maybe getting the best of you here.
Yeah.
Like you're feeling, as someone with like ADD, like I don't know if you guys have it, but like there's that time where you just like, I cannot focus on literally anything right now. So that's kind of how that would.
It's called
that
that
would
every
be.
day I'm at work.
I could describe
Yeah.
what it's like, but I don't want to embarrass myself.
It's so anyways, but you guys know that feeling. So maybe you guys in chat do as well. But it's you can't. You're trying to find something, but you're like, but I don't even know what I'm looking for, and I'm trying to figure it out. But like, man, I just gotta move a little bit. This is so boring.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I wish I was doing something else, like that kind of thing. And you start
I'm
like spiraling in that
dying right
direction.
now.
Yeah, and I think because you both are doing this kind of at the same time, and you're both on this whatever this is. And some time goes by, more time goes by, and you both kind of turn around and look around and don't really see the campsite anymore.
No.
God,
Don't really see much of anything but the wasteland. Ooh, this doesn't look good. What would you like to do?
Do you have a fire going back at camp or what?
You didn't specify? Do you have a fire going on back
I would
at camp?
presume so, because it's fucking cold.
I mean, it's getting chilly, but it's definitely not as cold as when you were in the mountains. Like the
I don't know.
rock that you're on holds a lot of heat.
As long as it's holding the heat, I guess we wouldn't
You need it on to
have
have
a need
a
for the fire,
standard-
unless we were cooking.
Didn't we
You
keep
have
fires on
rations,
for watch?
so what was that, Miera?
Didn't we keep fires on for watch like normally? I'm just asking.
I mean, you have been.
Yeah.
You've done that before.
Yeah. Now it's a
But
matter
no one has
still-
currently specified if there's a fire or not.
Yeah.
If
So this
it's,
is, I mean, it's up to you. Is there one?
if it's
Yeah,
a matter of habit, like if we've been doing this every night, then I don't think just being on a warm rock would change that. So yeah, we would have one.
Okay.
a
Yeah.
question of habit.
Is it a large fire? Is it a small fire? Is it?
Regular campfire, one that's good enough to keep going through the night.
My next question is, what did you use to make it?
Oh yeah, that's a good question. Okay, let's see if there's anything in the bag of holding we can burn.
Because as far as I know, you guys don't like carry logs with you. To
Yeah,
light
that's-
things on fire.
Yeah, I should have thought ahead
Yeah,
and had
have
us
things on
chop
fire.
down some trees and then stuffed them in the bag of holding. Which wouldn't have worked because they'd be too big.
We're good at traveling.
Oh boy.
Seriously.
It's an
See,
interesting.
I have an excuse. I'm technically royalty. I haven't been anywhere. What's your excuse?
All right,
Do you
listen.
have-
I have a
did you-
tinderbox.
Did you
so-
start fire, or did you? Is it not?
Looks
have
like
anything.
I don't have any materials, and unless we came across some flammable materials growing in the desert, then I don't think we have
The only
anything.
thing you would have had would be
not.
like
I
the
mean-
arrows that you have.
Yeah, and I wouldn't have burnt those.
Do you still have those tree
Fire.
people from back in the McSwiggins era?
I think he got rid of those.
No,
Actually.
because no, I don't, because I have a new bag of holding.
Yeah,
That one
that's
was
right. He
lost.
lost his old
Oh,
bag.
Yeah.
dicks.
Yeah, he lost the old bag.
Yeah, good thought.
Good callback though,
Yeah.
man. That is
I
wow.
pay attention sometimes.
That's like 29 episodes ago. Jeez.
I listen.
Yeah. So as far as I can tell, you don't have anything to even make a fire.
Yeah, I guess we don't. I mean, like I can technically throw out a firebomb, but that doesn't last very long at all.
Well, I have a
So
tinderbox, so if there's like crap lying around to light on fire, we could do that.
that's the point. It's the desert.
Well,
There is
yeah,
no
but
crap.
there's no
Well,
like
tumbleweed.
dry
I'm just-
plants and shit that would burn for a second.
Not that you've seen.
Well,
Neat.
That's part of their like looking around and stuff. Is like it is called the waste for a reason.
there's
Should've turned
fucking
back.
nothing. Oh boy.
There might be stuff
Oh.
tomorrow, but like as of right now, you've not come across anything that would work in this regard.
Okay, I guess we're relying on the heat of the rock to survive the night.
So in that case, there is no fire. Miara, Hathol,
Good luck,
you've been
guys.
wandering now for maybe 3 hours total, right? Like you spent your first hour and a half, so you've now wandered another hour and a half, and you don't know where. Hathol, you still have the pull from Druvani to the city,
Yeah.
but that's not necessarily something that you can use to go back to camp.
Nope.
No. Well, if he this is talking out of character, would he be able to tell like the differences in pull from like the areas that he's wandered, like around
Northeast. He's too far. Northeast.
So it's
That's
just
the pull.
directly northeast. Gotcha.
It's northeast. Yeah.
Well, when I wake up, like I have ideas for how we could reunite, but I have to actually be awake for that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, currently you guys are just hanging out. I mean, it's
Yeah.
been a while, Darien, but like this is not you thought you knew it was going to take some time. So you're not like worried yet, but maybe growing a little bit concerned, right?
Yeah, and I would have had the perfect fucking way to reunite us if the party broke up differently.
Are you sure? Because the
Oh,
whole
yeah.
reason that I gave Miara a sending stone was for this exact reason.
True.
Oh,
I do have
so
a
then
sending
we're fine.
stone.
Yes, we are. I have a plan to get us out of this.
Oh, all right. I mean, I don't know that obviously, but
Yeah.
Darien, you know about the sending stone, but doesn't necessarily. If
I forgot.
if someone just
about
post the sending stone in chat, if that's something that you wanted to use, Miara.
Uh,
I think that's probably my best bet. I just don't
Oh,
know. I don't think I
dang
have
it,
this stuff.
hang on. Sending
Sending-
stone.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Sending. I mean, it uses the spell sending. That's all I know.
Did we not put a description in your
I mean,
thing?
it does.
It's like
It doesn't have the sending stone item,
medium.
but here's a description of the sending spell, which it uses.
Thought we had given you like the actual item, and it had a description.
It doesn't have the item, no. It
Yeah,
just
the
has the
item.
spell. Or at least in roll 20. I mean,
Yeah.
I can Google the item.
Short message, yeah. Which you're familiar creature hears a message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you and can answer. Enables creature intelligence scores at least 1 to understand the meaning. You can send the message across any distance and even other planes, but if the target is on a different plane than you, there's a 5% chance that the message doesn't arrive. Okay. Does it say that you have to be conscious?
The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. It does not say
doesn't
if I have to
specify.
be conscious, because I hear it in my mind.
Yeah, I mean, so Miara, you know you have the stone.
Yeah.
So
Now I do.
however you would like to use it.
So I'm going to pull out the stone, tell Hathol, I forgot I have this. I can communicate with Ignis. It's a sending stone. If he's awake, then excellent. We can get back. Hopefully, get back easily. He'll figure out a way. If not, I have to try to probably wake him up. So, good
Then
luck.
do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
So
Yeah. Good luck with that.
I'm gonna
Keep
try
in
to-
mind, it's a message of 25 words or less.
Okay.
You only need 2 words. Send nudes.
Okay, so I'm gonna use a sending stone and just use and say, Ignis, wake up. Hathol and I are lost. Help us get back, please.
Pretty good.
Bring snacks.
Yeah. And so I hate to like leave us on like kind of that little area there, but like we have to find at the end of the show. Darien. Rob does have to go.
I'm
so
sorry.
we do need
My
to
brother
stop.
was born 25 years ago.
Yeah, he's got to do some family stuff, which is good.
Yeah.
Great show today, guys. This is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I'm super enjoying this. A lot of really good stuff happened here. So you guys have like a chance to address some of your goals and things. Let's go through them really quickly. None of the group goals happened today. That's fine.
Nope.
Ignis, reach Addis. That hasn't happened. Return. Okay, none of your goals have happened today. Miara, learn more about Hathol. I think you did. I think you learned a little bit more about him.
Yeah.
Do you feel like you learned enough about him, or you learned enough, like you did learn a little bit about
I can
him?
ease up, but I
Okay.
still want to. There's still stuff I need to see.
Yeah, this is a relatively easy goal. I'm going to say, because you're level 5 now, so it's 200 experience, if you want to take that for learn more about Hathol. And then you did train with Balmior to get better with the armor. I'm saying that this is going to be, like, the end goal of this is get him trained.
Yep.
You are currently working on it. Great. Darien, help Miara find out what happened to Brother Zayor. Not happening. Want to commune with Alis. Yes. You did your role. You got the thing. You beat the DC of 15. It's 200 experience.
Tight.
For becoming okay with the situation. You also learned more about Hathol. Do you feel like you learned enough here to meet your goals?
Yeah, it was more so like understand his power and like if it comes from an aspect and everything. So
Sure. Yeah.
cool
So
with it.
200 experience for that one as well.
Trust that boy.
Relatively easy thing to do. He did not make it difficult for you.
Fuck yeah.
Hathol, safely escort the party to Addis. You're in the process. Find a lead on your personal quest. You're working on that. And then ingratiate yourself with a group. Do you feel like he's ingratiated himself to everyone here, or does he have a little bit more to do?
He's okay by me.
So Darien, that's good. Miara, what do you think?
I feel like the next combat experience that we're in will really solidify how I feel about him.
Like how he acts in
Yeah.
a life or death situation? Sure. Okay. Ignis, how are you feeling?
My big concern is he doesn't actually know where he's going. So if he can,
Yeah, you
If
didn't
he
share
can-
that with anyone. So that's yeah.
yeah, if he can get us to Adis, then he's got my vote. But otherwise, I'm still kind of wary that
Okay.
he's just an insane desert nomad.
And
Sure.
there's still a lot of fails from Hathol today.
Yeah, Hathol struggled today a
was
little
a
bit. The only thing
bad
he hasn't
day,
struggled with is
guys.
spell casting, I guess.
It was a normal day for this group.
Damn.
Cool. Okay, so that's about it.
I'm low-key
So if you guys want
disappointed in
to,
myself today.
for those of you guys that have completed goals and stuff like that, we'll talk about those at the beginning of the next one. Or if you want to DM me those, so I can prep anything that might be like out of the ordinary
Yeah, I
or
gotta
whatever.
remind myself that we have 2 goals open, or I have 2
Yeah.
goals open.
So let me know. Other than that, let's do some shout outs. Rel, where can the people find you at, my man?
Well, when I am not playing Man of Science, Ignas Erdrick, you can find me at youtube.com/relplays. I do game reviews, let's plays, and collabs. You can also find me on Twitter at Rel Let's Play, on Instagram, rel.plays, and on Twitch, twitch.tv/relplays.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Tom, I still don't have a command for your stupid channel. I'm sorry. But please give the shout outs. Where can the people find you at?
The people can find me almost every day of the week over at twitch.tv/likeafox. There you're going to see gameplay just about as good as my rolls tonight. So, yeah, buckle up. It's a wild ride.
That's a good time. It's a good time. Rob, where can the people find you at, buddy?
Well, hello there. When I'm not, I don't know, probably dying in a desert, you can find me at twitch.tv/bonus_stage_Rob, where I play a variety of things. I just play The Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit yesterday. I'm still not okay with the pin on the cell phone, but whatever. I started Jack 2 today on the PS2. I'll be playing the final season / possibly final episode of The Walking Dead
Yeah.
this week. Telltale, why? But I play a bunch of other stuff that doesn't make me sad. So come on down.
Great. Thanks, bud. All right. Professor Zachram, where can the people find you at,
That's
bud?
me. When I'm not also trying to find water in the desert, you can find me at twitch.tv/prof_Saccharum, where currently I'm playing a couple different games. I'm playing Pokemon Crystal right now. I don't know for how much longer, and the Legend of Zelda Link Between Worlds. But this week, I'm probably gonna do a little break from gameplay stuff and do some creative streams, work on some new channel art stuff. So we'll see if the old string cheese can actually run it. So let's try that out.
Cool. And hey, hi, I'm Joel, otherwise known as Runaway Robot. I DM the show here, DieFall. This campaign is known as The Aspects. We will have the VOD up on YouTube probably tomorrow at some point in time. Big thing for me this week is tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Myself and Charlie Pryor, another streamer and friend of ours, I think, here. We will be starting Divinity Original Sin 2 cooperatively, and we'll be playing that for Mondays and Tuesdays for the foreseeable future. And I will be a big ol' meat shield boy for the commander there, and it'll be a good time. Other than that, I think I kind of want to tease this a little bit. October is coming up soon, and there may be a one-shot or two in the future of some spooky, scary skeletons. I've got some things I'm thinking about here. So stay tuned here. Follow all of us on all of our socials and things like that. Thank you for tuning in today for episode 31 of DieFall: The Aspects. And until next time, guys. Later.
Bye.
Bye.